The following podcast is not intended for those who are easily triggered. It features two regular people talking about pop culture and sharing their thoughts on it. If this is too much for you to handle, please report to your nearest safe space. If sarcasm is a foreign language to you, please find a translator. For everyone else, enjoy the show. Or don't.
Hey yo, what's up? You gotta stop and listen. It's time to open your eyes. It's coming to you.
Cooler, believe and brother. Metal, cooler, believe and brother. Kyushu, Fukusu, metal cooler. 機械になって得たぜ複数の機械無限に増殖絶望を感じたあのショックうちたちから捕まえたゴクッとベチッと吸われたゴクッとベチッと全力出した奴は非道かます瞬間移動奴は非常ボディは頑丈無限に再生絶望の戦場無限に増殖見せろクーラーブリーズ&ブラザードカンバトルにメタルクーラー来たるぶちかませ超快感ドラゴンボール Z ドッカンバトル全世界同時キャンペーン開催中
Hey guys, it's Mike here, and welcome back to Laughingstock Nation. How's it going? In which Josh and I today are going to be talking about and playing Halo. We're going to be playing Halo Infinite, but we're going to be talking about the entire franchise. So let's start doing this right about now. Fortunately for all of us, you won't have to see Josh's face today. That's totally fine, because you will be able to see my face and hopefully be able to hold down your vomit the entire time while you're looking at me. But anyway, let's start. And there's Josh making his intro to the excellent Halo music. So if my audio is terrible at all during this, just let me know, guys. We're always doing these things as a work in progress. And I just figured out how to do an intro today. Josh told me the music was obscenely loud. Maybe that music's actually a little bit better than the new theme.
Alright, I'm done.
Thank God. I mean,
You might get a copyright strike just for how accurate that was.
Yeah, I know. Why isn't my game showing up on here? It was such a smooth intro until I started actually doing things, and now it's horrible. So give me one moment, guys, while I put Halo up on the screen on my supposed PC Master Race, but it's more like the PC should go in the trash. I should just buy an Ekbok right now, right, Josh?
If you can find one.
Why are they all totally out of stock right now?
Probably. I mean, when I got mine, I had to fight for it pretty much.
Well, yeah. How long ago was that?
Back in January.
How's it going, everyone? Can you hear us totally fine? Just let me know in the chat right now. If you could hear me, you could hear Josh. If any of the audio is too high, too low. I know on the first stream, Josh was a lot louder than me.
If you have to fart, do you have to put it in the microphone?
Yeah. It depends on if you're using your.
Well, I just muted myself for that one, so I guess I'll have to remember that for the future.
Come on, Josh. Why would you mute yourself?
Just had
So why haven't you sent me
decency.
a request yet?
Oh, am I the host?
Well, yeah. So like I said before in the description that nobody read and then that community post that two people saw, basically, we're going to be talking about Halo from two different perspectives here. First perspective is mine, which is going to be that of basically a newcomer to the franchise. I never actually played Halo until I started playing them with Josh last year, or I think it was last year, right?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, so I started playing with Josh for the first time. I never had the original Xbox, I only had the 360, but I've never been a huge first-person shooter person. I've always been more into games like strategy and RPG and stuff like that. So it took me a long time to finally get in Halo until I got the Game Pass. I had the Master Chief Collection, and obviously Josh is like, good at the game, whereas you're going to find out how good I am. Wink, wink. But basically, yeah, so we played the whole series on co-op, played the multiplayer on most of them, and we played a good amount of multiplayer on this game right here. You can see Halo Infinite. So we're going to be doing a lot of that today, playing Halo Infinite, but we're going to also talk about the other games and then the pros and the cons. Especially with regard to this game and the multiplayer itself, because Josh is definitely going to have a lot of cons to say about this. Josh is going to be the most negative one in this video. What a shock. Did you send me an invite? Did I join your team?
I just joined you.
Oh. Oh, yeah, I forgot.
I couldn't invite you.
That's weird. So I have to pick the game? What the hell's the yappening?
I'm not sure.
It's like some
We
event that's
played
going
this in
on.
weeks.
Yeah, I haven't played it in almost a month. Cumulative personal score in Rumble Pit. How about no? Okay, so Tactical Slayer. Kill enemy Spartans in the Yappening playlist. I don't know what the fuck that is. Kill an enemy Spartan with a shock rifle in PvP. How about no? What's the M247? The one on the back of the Warthog? The HMG?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm swapping that one out too. Okay, kill enemy Spartans with headshot in PvP. That's easy.
Ethan the God in the chat. Halo Combat Evolved was nuts, and Halo 3 was bonkers as well. Halo 1, 2, 3, ODST, all godly games. Perfect. Reach has some issues, but it's a classic game. Halo 4 has a lot of problems. Halo 5 has a lot of problems. Halo 5 has amazing multiplayer. Halo Infinite, great campaign, fantastic fucking multiplayer, horrible progression system, no content in the multiplayer, but all the mechanics, all the gameplay, a lot of the maps are fantastic. I mean, the gameplay is, like, in my opinion, like the best first-person shooter gameplay in the world. It's not like a Cyberpunk situation where, the gameplay was horrible, but there was content. The content wasn't always good, obviously, but, like, Halo has everything but the extra content. It's easier to fix.
Yeah, the thing is with regard to Halo Infinite, it does have really great gameplay, and that's one of the things that actually made me really enjoy the Halo series so far. So, I know I'm not really a master first-person shooter player, but I have played Call of Duty, I've played Battlefield, I've played Fallout New Vegas millions of times. I played tons of, I played GoldenEye, when it came out. I played a bunch of first-person shooters over the years, a lot of the biggest franchises, but I was never really the biggest fan of them, or at least the first-person in general. It's kind of monotonous for me after a while, as long as they don't have an interesting gameplay. So, Doom is a really interesting first-person shooter franchise, because it does have interesting gameplay mechanics. I like the Gears of War games when I played them because they had those interesting mechanics, but so far out of every first-person shooter franchise, I'd probably have to say that Halo might be the best one I've played, just because not only does it have a lot of those really interesting gameplay mechanics, but also has generally really good multiplayer, and just all of the different ways you can fight enemies and the different weapons, and just everything that you do throughout the games is way more interesting to me than playing Call of Duty or Battlefront or something. And also, obviously I'm a huge sci-fi fan, so you throw that in, you get a combination of, Star Wars and other, fantasy titles combined with, hardcore science fiction in, a game, then, that makes it that much more interesting to me and makes me even more drawn into what I'm playing. So, even though I've never really played Halo until, a year ago, I really enjoyed the franchise thus far, and I probably don't have the same emotional attachment to it that a lot of other people who've been playing since the beginning, like you, Josh, but, when you were 2 years old. But for me, I just played the original one. And yeah, so, well, I played all of them with you, except for 5, because 5 wasn't available to me on the Game Pass, Xbox, and Microsoft. You know, I am a stockholder, so maybe you should listen to me and put 5 on the Game Pass so I could actually play it instead of watching as a movie on YouTube. Huh.
Yeah, step aside, Bill Gates. Son of a bitch.
I don't even think he runs it anymore. He's too busy with his wife Melinda running some
He's,
foundation.
he's too busy trying to escape drowning from money.
Yeah, he jumped in his Scrooge McDuck vault, and then he just almost drowned because he has so much of it.
It's a Oriama's island made of money.
Yeah, call it back. Alright, let me see if I can get my actual desktop to show up. Here we go. It's showing up on here. Why wouldn't it? Why isn't it showing up on my other one?
Whatever. Phone's not connecting to the Wi-Fi.
Huh?
My phone's not connecting to the Wi-Fi.
Why do you need your phone?
Oh, I was looking at the chat, asswipe.
There's a chat?
We're streaming? Nani?
We're on YouTube?
I think we're on that Rumble or whatever that is.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on, why I can't show the game past the, maybe it only shows the title screen until you start playing a match?
No, it should just display whatever your game's displaying.
Well, for some reason my display capture isn't coming up, or of the actual
You start the
screen.
display capture, I'm not sure. Wait a minute.
It's not even showing my primary monitor.
No. Oh, god damn it. Hold on, I gotta get this cat downstairs.
You have a cat?
I got 2. Yeah, I got 2 cats.
Okay, everyone look at me while I'm doing this.
Hey yo, what's up? You gotta stop.
You know, this should be so simple for me just to show my game. OBS, I just updated you, and now you fucked everything up. Thank you so much, OBS. I really appreciate this, by the way. You know, it's bad enough that every single time I start your program, like, I can't even get the scaling to work correctly without going into the advanced settings and changing it again and again and again. And then it messes everything up every update, but we'll bear with it, OBS. Everyone look at my cool background, my Pikachu blanket, you know, my Game of Thrones books, my classic vintage video game systems. Maybe I'll even answer some of your questions in the meantime in the chat. So let's see. Hi everyone. Napoleon Bonaparte, I thought you were dead. Ethan the God, something about trauma. JP Hataraki, I remember you from the last stream. Halo is the series for casual console kiddies who are too casual for Counter-Strike, and Counter-Strike casuals who are too casual to play Quake. Oh god, a Dokkan streamer. Try recording the whole screen. Yeah, I'm doing that. It's weird. Look, I have my display capture turned on. I'm gonna turn off the Windows capture, and now it just shows black. But just not, you know, the one that hates Ninken. The one from Laughingstock Media. How's it going? Wait for it. Why can't I switch between without switching?
Hey yo, what's up?
See, that kind of rhymed. Actually, I got an idea. I'll delete the display capture, and then I'll create a new one, and then maybe it'll work. Actually, wait, they have game capture. What do you say?
Nah, huh?
You were gonna leave the entire stream and watch hentai? Is that what you were just saying?
I wasn't saying that. I didn't say that. Did you fix it?
Almost, I think.
Almost. Was there percentage completion?
5. Capture a specific window, no. Okay, I picked game capture, so why am I not getting the option to see Halo on here? fuck's sake.
I'm talking to a chimpanzee here. I have no fucking clue.
I guess that must mean I'm a baboon. Such a fucking boomer. Why is it showing 1080? What the hell is that? Christ. Properties. Halo Infinite. Capture method. Windows 10? What the hell is that? Wait.
What the hell is Microsoft?
I think I almost got it, guys. I can see something on the screen now.
Ba-ba-ba-bum, ba-ba-bum.
Why is it only showing like
Did
a
anyone
corner?
even like appreciate my rendition of that?
No, do some other impressions.
Hey guys, it's Mike from Laughingstock Media. How's it going?
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Halo Nation.
Oh, that's
Beautiful
offensive.
friends from all across the world.
Alrighty guys, it is Quaman here today.
Are you still there? Then you must be a big fan of Kwame.
We invented memes.
Yeah, I invented Ultra Instinct Shaggy. He was just called Harold.
We invented memes like Gene Simmons invented the devil horns.
Yeah, and dressing in leather pants.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I
I'm
almost
sure he
have
invented
this.
the guitar.
Yeah, or Van Halen, he totally invented finger tapping. Even though Jimi Hendrix did like 20 years
Oh
before.
yeah. I'm reading the comments. Mike, are you in borderless or window? Or yeah, are you in full screen?
Yeah, why?
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
You can't do it when you're in full screen?
It's probably not gonna work, no.
Fucking
Nope. I would tell you that as what was it? I used to stream a lot. Not stream. I used to do OBS for games on the YouTube channel I used to have. I don't know if you knew this, but I used to have a YouTube channel that I ran
Halo. No, you didn't, you fucking...
a long time ago. Yeah, I had I had a couple videos. Few people saw it.
Definitely a larger channel than mine, right? Don't worry, Josh. Everyone remembers.
I
when it
have
used to
more
be bigger.
videos that consist of the content being just video game footage than you.
That's true. That has to count
There.
for something.
More watch time. The ultimate test.
Yeah, you probably do have more videos over 1 million views than me.
Maybe. I have over 1,000 videos, I know that.
Damn, I still haven't hit that.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
do live streams count as videos? Because maybe
I
I'll
was
hit that
doing them like
eventually.
once a day for a long time.
Yeah, I tried doing that, and that didn't work out. Let me know if we get any super chats or anything while I'm being a boomer over here. I'll try and actually answer those because I'm sure all the people in the chat are getting pissed off I'm not looking at it. Wait, here we go. Display capture... 2? No.
Maybe if you took out your Game Shark, it'd work.
Yeah, that's true. I have to use the Konami code. Okay. So I just have to make Halo... I just have to make Halo not full screen and then it'll show up?
Yeah, I mean, you can still have full screen, just have a, bordered
Yeah,
mode or whatever.
bordered, okay.
Whatever it's fucking called. Not PC linguistic. I'm on Xbox.
Okay, I X'd out of the game. It's still not showing my display. There's something wrong with OBS. Maybe I just have to switch the monitor. I'm just seeing a black screen.
Hey yo,
Am I allowed to say that these
If
days?
we were playing Dokkan, this wouldn't have been a problem.
Yeah.
Hoorah.
Damn it,
Hoorah.
343, stop ruining everything. First multiplayer and then this. Josh,
Yep.
quick, talk about Halo 2. I think we talked about one already, right?
Halo 2 has the best campaign in the series,
Yeah, definitely.
right next to Halo 1.
It's my favorite.
If Halo 1 had less backtracking, it'd be the best, but it's always going to have a special place in my heart. I would objectively say the
You're hard
best
on?
campaign. Hard, yeah. It would have my heart. Um, I think objectively, the best campaign would probably be Reach. Honestly.
Around?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we got it.
But I'm not going to say it's my favorite.
Yeah, I do really like Reach. I think that one's really great. 2 for me is really when the series just got great. The first game
Has the
I
best
did,
story.
yeah. 2 for me, I mean, Keith David. There you go. So yeah, that was definitely the thing that made the series great for me. The whole campaign was great. So I played the remake first. Like we were actually going back and forth between the graphics at points. It was kind of funny, and I really enjoyed that one. I think I actually can show this in full screen, so let's try it again. Hopefully I
Yeah,
don't ruin
you can,
everything.
Mike.
And then,
Just stretch it out. And then isn't there like a key code to like take out the border?
that's what she
There's
said.
probably another way. I'm just a fucking idiot. That's all.
Okay, I clicked it. Let's see if it's good. Show. Yes, it did. Perfect. So you have to either invite me or I have to jump in your game or whatever. Because we're not in the game together anymore.
Can't believe I have to work at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that's what happens
I
when you.
gotta wake up at like 5.
That's what happens when you live in the town of Grun.
Yeah. Farmville.
Yeah, you live in a mobile game. Just said something about multiplayer isn't available, but then you joined. Oh wait, I'm not on screen anymore. I can't believe people actually want to see me on screen.
You know, people are gonna be watching your perspective, but in reality, what they want to see is my perspective.
Yeah, they want to see the one that isn't dying every single second. Okay, let's
Been
play the
playing Halo
Yappening.
for 21 years almost.
Oh wait, it says I'm not team leader.
Let's
Okay,
play co-op campaign. Oh wait,
Let's do the Yappening.
what
I
the
don't even
fuck
know
is
what that
this
is,
shit?
so let's do it. I apparently have to kill enemy Spartans in it and then complete
I'll put a double
matches.
XP boost on.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that's a thing because I never get microtransactions in games until now. Josh
Well,
talked me into becoming a whale, everyone. I hope you. I, mean,
no, no,
I
no.
used to be more of a whale. Like I used to go into the ocean and they would all sing "We Are Family," but I lost a lot of weight. So, Josh, I didn't put on my EXP thing.
Fucking slowpoke, man.
I mean, I am actually, engaging with the audience, Josh. The people who came to see me and me alone, obviously. So yeah.
I'm the background noise.
What are you taking so long for, Josh? Start the game.
Oh fuck, my bad. You should have said something sooner.
Yeah. PC
Blah,
load
blah,
lag.
blah,
What does
blah.
that mean? I don't know what you're talking about. But okay. How is Infinite
Hey, my Wi-Fi's
currently? I don't know because I haven't played Infinite in like a month. But I'm enjoying the game.
Game is always gonna be good.
I think it's fun. You don't need an antivirus, so yeah, that's a great idea, Hadaraki. I totally won't get viruses after not using it. You alived Josh. What the hell does that mean? You gave me the reach around, or Reach gave me the reach around. Yeah, I mean, it is really good, so it might as well be giving you a reach around when you play it. But yeah, 2 for me is maybe my favorite. 3 is definitely up there, though. If not, an argument for it being my favorite, because 2 and 3 are really the best of the series for me in terms of like the story and a lot of the interesting dynamics. I like the second one's story the most, but 3 is really great, and Reach is really great. So is ODST. I wasn't expecting the spin-off games to be anywhere near as good. I remember when Reach originally came out and I was in GameStop and I was like, what's Reach? Can I play it at any point in the series? They're like, yeah. And I was like, I don't know if I want to play a spin-off. And then when I finally, like, especially as my first game in the franchise, what the hell's Big Team Fiesta? Didn't we click on the Yappening?
Yeah, it's gonna be 12v12 with random weapon spawns.
Common Sense 2022 is the best antivirus out there. Well, yeah, but
Right.
let's just say that Common Sense doesn't come into play with regards to certain websites visited. But anyway,
All I gotta say about Halo 3 is I've spent many nights of my youth when that game came out passing out on a beanbag in the middle of the night playing multiplayer. Meeting up with people online, random people socially, and just passing out playing that game for hours and hours and hours. Very fucking fun.
How many times during the course of that period did somebody tell you to go fuck your mother?
You know what? A lot of times you get used to it after a long time.
You've lost the lead.
And how many 12-year-olds does that number include?
The lead is yours.
And how many of them were screaming at their mom in the background?
But guess what?
I
It's
want
the
a hot
2007.
pocket!
I was the 12-year-old in 2007.
That is crazy.
Born November 6, 1995.
Jesus.
I know. Well, no, I have people in the chat younger than me. I'm sure there's that. They're out there.
Gotcha, bitch! I haven't died yet. It's a good shot.
Me neither. Whoa!
I forgot I was even playing Fiesta because I just started out with like ranked weapons. I got Sentinel Beam and I keep getting the battle rifle.
For like voice acting roles.
I don't know why they haven't. I mean, it must be our amazing Japanese accents.
The lead is yours.
I'll voice in the next Metal Gear game.
Where are my customs? Oh, there we go. It's like the next Schwarzenegger role in one of his upcoming games that he never does the voices for. What the hell is this? Cave?
Ground
Never been
vehicle
up here before.
requisitioned.
This is cool. I know they added like new areas in here. There's nothing fucking here! You
Man,
gotta stay
I
here.
really just want a fucking roll, let me tell you. I gotta record
Guys,
that for
right
the
coming up
chat.
behind.
Hey, I guess if I record a clip, I can send it to the chat.
I love how when I ping in these games, people always go, oh, wait,
I'm sniping that guy for you, Mike. I'm just trying
Here he comes
to...
coming around, fuck!
Got him.
Both my guns are out of ammo. Somebody came around the block in the back.
I was across the map.
Loud the game graphics or the bit rate? What are you saying?
Ground
Bit rate
vehicle
might be,
delivery.
Oh,
visuals
wow.
might be up issue. I haven't looked.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily
yeah.
look the best at the moment, actually, but hey, what do you
Does it look a little Sega Saturn-y? Got a little case of the N64 syndrome.
I'm playing on 1080p, so I really should be able to have it's looking fine, but yeah, it's
Plasma grenades
you know,
obtained.
my computer
Well,
isn't necessarily the
that's gonna be
most
your
up to
connection
date
right now, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think I only have like 100 MBS, so like I'm gonna update to like Wi-Fi or not Wi-Fi. What is that? 5.
Let me look at this. I'll be the judge if it's good. If I'll tell you if people are busy or not.
Oh, that wasn't good. Let's just pretend that didn't happen.
Let's see.
Commit seppuku. Oh, don't know. I could see stuff happening on my screen.
If you squint,
Well, I am looking at the small.
looks
Then
alright
again,
to me.
I actually am looking at. Now that I think about it, I have
Oh,
the preview.
fuck that.
I have the
It's
preview
alright.
enabled. I don't know why my whatever
Looks
it is.
fine to me.
Yeah, fucking Steve Buscemi.
Ground vehicle. Delivery. Confirmed.
Hello, fellow kids.
Damn it! Who the fuck stole my kill? Ow. Frick. Teammates trying to kill me.
Exterior protection expanded.
Engaged.
Bah! You cocksucker!
You cocksucker, you!
You motherfucking grease balls!
Why the fuck do our teammates keep trying to run me over with their damn trucks?
I'm not sure.
Do they want us to lose? Fuck! God damn it, these fucking idiots. But anyway, yeah. Halo, what is this? So yeah, Halo 3. The first 3 games really great. Great voice acting, great gameplay.
I wouldn't say great voice acting. I would definitely say fucking tremendous.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say if you're gonna
Like
say
Joey
something
Diaz, tremendous.
tremendous. But yeah, they.
But when Joey says tremendous, it really hits a different way, you know?
Yeah, so does the Stars of Death.
Green line.
But yeah, in terms of Halo 3, like, you know, just the fact that they have Keith David in there, that immediately is going to turn up the quality of the voice acting to 11. So definitely like me some Keith David. Basically everything. And especially in Halo, because he's great. Oh shit, I have an active camo. So yeah, the first 3 games are really great. One of the things I like about them too is everything I would complain about in the games, for the most part, they improved as the games went on. So like, my concerns I had about them, they were basically.
Well, they made the pistol worse.
Well, I mean, not everything is perfect, but they did
They made
make
the assault rifle
improvements.
worse.
They
made the shotgun worse.
They did make improvements.
They made the rocket launcher worse.
They did make
They made
improvements
the
for the
Warhawk
most
take damage
part.
in Halo 2.
Josh from Dragon Nation.
Victory is within reach.
And yeah, so overall, they definitely did improve things. So how's the audio right now, everyone? Can you actually hear us over the loud gameplay?
I can hear the game fine, Mike. Don't worry.
So the first 3 games definitely really good. Oh, energy sword.
I mean, even Halo 4 and 5, they're still better than most shooters that are out.
But speaking of, let's talk about 3, 4, 3. How can we go better? No scope. I love doing the no scope on this, which is the only way I kill enemies with it. Except for that way. Fucking switching on this sometimes can be a little too slow. But yeah, so 3, 4, 3. I'm coming in quieter than Josh. That sounds about right. I mean, I do speak quieter than Josh in general. See if I can turn my microphone up. For some reason.
Fuck. Hey, I got,
Okay,
I'm first
how about
place.
now, everyone?
So.
Well, I mean, what a shock there, Josh. You in first place.
Well, I hadn't played in like a month.
Yeah, after playing for 15 years straight.
Since 2001.
Well, to be fair, you did take breaks from Halo to play Red Dead. So.
Got to do the best of that too. I'm gonna try to hit that Hornet with a Ravager. Probably fucking impossible.
I'm gonna tweak my settings after this match and see if maybe I can make the gameplay a little bit smoother.
Ground vehicle en route.
Victory.
Damn.
Team has come out on top.
Bastard. You bastard.
Okay. Somehow we won. Awesome.
And first. Woo.
I don't even want to look and see what place I was in, but I already know.
Pretend we're playing golf, Mike. Pretend we're playing golf.
So let's see. Well, I already got one of those challenges done. That was cool. Let's see what I got for level 55.
That's kind of empty.
Oh, cool. Oh, Blazing Gunmetal. I didn't know you can get that in here. Alright, so let's check out my settings real quick and see why this is not streaming at the best. Let me first turn off my preview on here. That sometimes will help. I'll do settings. Stop, Penny. The cat really wants to come in here. I don't think I could actually change the output on here while I'm streaming. I'm not going to restart the stream.
I mean, it's a little blurry. I don't think it's that bad, honestly. But I guess if you're not running the video at 720p, maybe it's...
Yeah, it's at 1080p right now, and I'm doing regular latency, I think. Normal.
There's a bit of stutter here.
Yeah, whatever. You guys can deal with it. We don't care. That's the idea here, right?
Yeah, you fucking assholes.
Oh, that's a great way of getting them to keep watching, Josh.
That's a term. Hey, it's a term of endearment.
Yeah, it's like cunts in in Australia. Oh, you fucking cunt! Let's go down under. Shut up, Penny. He's gonna Hakai me in a moment. But yeah, I think it should be fine. So let's just play this damn game. So let's see. The yappening. Oh, right, I want to put Blazing Gunmetal on. Let me do that first. See if I could... Can you do it on
You
this
always
armor?
want to do everything.
Yeah, I do. So can you do it on this, Hold on, don't you have this one? I mean, I know you bought everything in the store 5 times over.
No, I haven't. I know it's in the source week. Let me look. Let me look at this shit. Let me look at this and get my credit card.
Of course, I don't see it on the armor that I'm currently wearing.
I know about this armor effect.
Which one?
A little too, just flower shoulders.
So yeah, that's really annoying about Halo Infinite, is that you get all these items, some of which you've spent actual money on, and then you don't even have the ability.
You don't like that?
Hold on a second. Audio-wise, Josh's volume is greater than the game audio, which is greater than my microphone. I don't know why. I have my microphone. I'm pretty sure turned all the way up. It's like the opposite.
I am.
It's like the opposite.
Mike from Laughingstock Media. Why could they not make the visor colors carry over to every armor core?
Yeah, that's what I was just trying to reference before.
Isn't it just a color?
So I just turned the audio down a lot for Josh.
Isn't that something you could do in... Isn't that something you can do in Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1?
Yeah, it is actually. Oh, lock volume. That's why. Okay, I turned my volume up. I turned the game volume down, as well as the desktop audio, I think. So I think it should be good now, guys. But yeah, that's one of the things that's really annoying about Halo Infinite. You could spend money on these games, and you can, like, you know... You could do all this stuff and unlock all these armors and stuff, and then you can't actually use them on all of the armors that you have. It's really annoying, and I don't know why they did that. Is it on this freaking... Oh, wait, there's another core now? Oh, wait, there's more cores.
Mike, why haven't you been having me post? he streams on my YouTube wall.
I wasn't
For
aware that
three
that was
people to
my
watch.
responsibility, Josh.
You need to remind me of these things.
All right, do it. Go do it now.
Now we're gonna get a lot more viewers.
Yeah, we're gonna get one. We're gonna get so many more
We're gonna multiply our viewership by at least 0.5%, which would actually divide it, right?
Yeah.
So,
You're
hey,
asking me about
let's
multipliers?
see what happens.
Everyone
see what
knows I'm
happens.
great at multipliers, right, guys? I've never set a very low number for a new form. Oh, here we go. This is like my least favorite chord, though.
All right, we got 15 viewers right now.
Good job, Josh. Oh, this one's
It's gonna bump it all the way up to 16. Keep an eye on it.
I'm gonna use the Stormtrooper armor. Yes, of course I want to equip
Hey.
that.
All right, let me know when you're ready.
Yep. I'm just making a bunch of cosmetic changes that have zero impact on how terribly I play the game. This one's cool. Gold. Ooh. And to be fair, if I had armor like this in real life and the ability to like go to a store and customize it, I would be doing this all the time. So like, I want the red. Red on red. Red light in my eyes. I've been listening to a lot of Children of Bodom recently. One of my favorite bands of all time. Rest in peace, Alexi Laiho, one of the greatest guitarists ever, who died way too young. Like basically every other great guitarist in history, they all died way too young because they played so hard that you know, Satan had to bring them home. The devil went down Georgia.
Or they
he was
died
looking
of a
for
drug
us.
overdose.
Well, yeah, that's literally all of them. But yeah, it's definitely a great one of my favorite metal bands of all time. Just one of my favorite bands in general is Children of Bodom from Finland, named after a bunch of an incident where a bunch of children were murdered and their bodies were thrown into a lake called Lake Bodom. So they're Children of Bodom. They're a bunch of murdered children. It's a very positive name. But okay, Josh, let's do this. In my worst looking armor now, but I do have a cool color. I look like a Sith trooper from Rise of Skywalker. By far the best quality Star Wars movie. JJ is such a great director, and those movies are just
I love The Last
masterpieces.
Jedi.
The Last Jedi is the bestest Star Wars movie ever, because I never
You know,
liked Star Wars ever
It's
in
a
my
movie
entire
about
life.
family, and that's really what's important.
You know what my favorite part of the original trilogy is? When Darth Vader walked up to Luke and he mumbled in his ear, "Family," and then they drove like 400 miles per hour in their TIE fighter and X-wings, and then they split up in opposite directions while "It's Been a Long Day Without You, My Friend" started playing. And it was all about
I
family.
love Disney.
It's been a long day. I'm gonna be honest. I was watching Fast and Furious 7 when I was on vacation in Vegas, and I couldn't get out of bed for a little bit, and I started watching that scene. And
Very good.
They're very well written movies that have very high IQ levels required to enjoy them. But they're like Rick and Morty, which is totally the best show ever.
Never liked
guys.
that show.
Take down your targets quickly.
Never did.
It's okay, I guess.
Shouldn't say in public.
I just like
I don't
stopped.
think it's bad. I just never really got into it at all.
Yeah, I tried. I mean, it has a lot of cool concepts that you would think I'd really like. And I still don't like it. Well, it's not that I don't like it, I just am not into it. Damn it, this other guy stole
Hey,
my
that guy
color.
looks, Yep. Guy?
Yeah. Wow,
Wait,
look at that.
Halo, you're not gonna be in my squad.
Oh, wait. Yeah, I forgot we're not on it.
Points.
I'm like
Just look
across
for that
the
yellow.
There was a guy on my team that had like it looked like smoke was coming out of the mouthpiece on his armor.
Get the passenger seat and use that. Well, hit A. No, it's not A. Use quick seats. Use your skewer in the passenger seat. You can do it.
I don't remember how to
Don't
switch
crack under
this.
pressure.
All right, go. Oh, let's go to that. Fuck, Josh. I need to go to that vehicle and blow him up.
Oh, okay, I see.
Oh shit.
Come on. Okay, set.
But yeah, what? How didn't that blow up already?
I had to get out just to try
Josh,
to
get out of the fucking... Okay, I killed both of them.
That's dead.
Alright, damn it, I got assist on both of them. That's okay. So yeah, when 343 took over, I would say that overall, there was not an improvement being made. In general, I would say that there was actually probably a decline. There definitely are certain things I think that they did well, like, you know, graphically the game's
That's
so
a pretty hot
great.
take, you know.
I wouldn't know. I don't pay attention to those, but anyway, like I feel like 343 definitely didn't improve this franchise much, and if any, my character is doing the worm, but if anything, it actually made things worse. But there are certain things I did like about it, like I know a lot of people didn't like Halo
I don't know,
4.
this one has the best gameplay of all, I think. And I'm sorry, everyone.
I mean, this one does have great gameplay.
Core like gameplay mechanics and just combat feel.
I still
Although
do
it's
like
not like the Bungie title that is fucking top tier, like untouchable almost.
I do like Halo 4 though, even though I know a lot of people don't. And you know, I like the fact that I could turn my character into Venom. That was pretty cool. But you know, and then we played like one game of multiplayer Halo 4, so I never really got to use it.
I mean, like I said, Halo 4 is still better than most shooters in the market. But
Yeah.
it's not as good as the other games. Not close.
Gotcha,
They tried to
bitch.
make it Call of Duty. Halo 5 really tried to do its own thing, at least. And it was a really high-quality shooter experience.
Yeah, it had Luke Cage in it, but it didn't have his voice, which weirded me out the entire time I was watching it.
Repulsor acquired.
Kept expecting him to say "Sweet Christmas," and then he just was like, "Hello, I am this guy. This is my voice," instead of "Yo, hi, I'm Luke Cage. I have a very baritone voice."
The lead is yours.
Mike, can you do your best job with the impression?
Oh, solo. Oh. I'm gonna be honest, I've never really liked Big Team Battle in like any of the Halo games.
I'm gonna be honest, Mike, I've really never liked you.
Well, I already knew that, Josh. Why the hell else would you know, be on my show right now other than just, you know, shit talking? Which is a fun activity to engage in, I agree. Gotcha, bitch, I got the grav hammer guy. I don't know where his grav hammer went.
Not doing as good this game.
You've lost the lead.
I mean, you're beating me.
Well, that's because I'm not paying attention. For some reason, I'm always better at games when I'm not paying attention when I play them. That's something I've noticed, like, ever since I used to be, like, a master Tetris player back in the day. I used to, like, just notice that when I just play with my peripherals and don't pay attention, I'm always better at games. And that's just, like, I just go Ultra Instinct mode, I guess, everyone, where, you know, you just start to hear it.
That's like me when I play Legends.
Well, yeah, because most of the game's automated, right? You just hit one button and the whole game plays itself. And you just insert your credit card. Why would you pick up the fucking...
I got spawned. A little bit slow.
Oh, that's annoying. Tetris stream when? I don't know. Maybe I'll play sometime this week. I haven't... The thing is, I'm not...
You could do Tetris stream to just talk to the chat while you play it.
Well, yeah.
Vehicle.
Like how
That's the
Dokkan's
thing, like
do
I
it.
just
You
said, I don't
play
really...
passively and talk to the chat.
Yeah. The thing is, with Tetris, I used to be a lot better at it. Like, nowadays, I'm just not as good. Yeah, like when I start to get to like 15 or 20 or whatever, it's just like I used to be so much quicker. But
Right behind you, by the way.
either way, either way, I could play it on stream at some point for fun and just do like a Q&A. Let's see, where are they dropping? Oh, Scorpion? Go on the Warhog, Josh. Wrong franchise. Are you gonna get on the Warhog?
I'm in a great spot.
There we go. Get back here, you pussy! Why are you running from me? Is it because I have a shotgun and I'm going to murder you? Because that is a good, viable reason to run. It almost makes sense. If almost means it does. Josh, we all know you like the Talking Heads.
That's Metallica.
I thought it was,
That was definitely off of Master of Puppets. Bonus track.
I think you mean Metal Up the Ass, their first album. It's a very deep cut of
Ooh, I got Overshield and Festivals. Actually, I'm about to do this grapple hook.
Tetris Effect is the best, trippiest. Is Tetris Effect the one on the...
It's on Xbox and all that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's... Is that the one... Like, I'm trying to remember if it's Tetris Effect or Tetris Evolution. Where you, like, you play the game and, like, you're terraforming planets. Because I remember that one was really cool, but...
The enemy
like,
is about to be
yeah.
found. Do not allow them.
I played, like, most Tetris games. I didn't really like the new Tetris that was on the Xbox Game Pass.
Lag. There's lag right here.
Another thing is there was, like, virus software that came with it. Like, I remember booting it up one time, and, like, a bunch of Trojans and stuff came into it. And, you know, when Trojans come,
used
then,
a lot
you
of
know,
Trojans
that's
nowadays.
weird. I haven't. It's like Rocky. He's like, hey Rocky, how about you invest your money in condominiums? Oh, I'll never use them.
Ground vehicle delivery.
What the fuck was that lag, you cocksucker?
You cocksucker, you!
Demonetize!
You motherfucker, you! Gotcha, bitch.
Medical attention.
Killjoy. That's always nice.
That's the best
Oh,
weapon
come
in the
on.
game.
I was gonna get a kill with a
shot.
shock rifle, too. Once in a lifetime water
sweet.
flowing.
Man, you beat me. I was lagging that game. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I think someone's lag switching me.
Maybe they're stream sniping.
That's right.
Fast 5 is still one of the best in the series. I'm interested in what you think the best one is then. Because, I don't know, my favorite's actually Fast 6. I mean, it was always the first one, but the sixth one is just so, like, ridiculous in a good way. Because it's basically like, what is it? Oh, it's obviously my armor, Josh, that made me
You're
better.
asking me what my favorite is?
No, I'm talking to the audience. I know you haven't seen any of the Fast
You should
and
invite
Furious
them
movies.
to the party.
I should invite them to the party?
Mm-hmm.
If they want.
I was joking.
I don't care. How many people can you have on a team? 12?
Yeah, we could just go in there and we could be the stream snipers.
Yeah. Let's see. Wild Wins. What's this? Win matches in the Yappening. Is the Yappening just always like big team battle? Just with Fiesta?
I think so.
Tokyo Drift is the most accurate for the scene in the day. I mean, yeah, that's what I've heard for a lot of people, that Tokyo Drift is actually good from a technical level. I mean, I never disliked Tokyo Drift. I think it's fine. It's just, I don't know. It's like, it's way better than Too Fast, Too Furious. That one's just not good. Like, for me, if I'm going to rank the Fast and Furious franchise, which I don't know if you could see it right now, but I have like the whole series behind me. The thing is that Fast and Furious for me, my favorite's probably 6 because I love the team, the evil team versus the good team and everything, and like the million-mile runway, and I just think it's really well done, even though it's not an amazing movie in terms of like a lot of ways. Fast 5 is great in a lot of ways technically as well as fun. Like it's not as ridiculous as the series went on to be. First movie is great, even though it's basically just a Point Break knockoff, but with street racing. But it's still good. I always liked those 2000s Vin Diesel movies are fun, and Paul Walker's fine in the movie. 2 is just not good. 3 is decent. 4, I never really cared that much for it, but it served the purpose of getting everyone back together, and there's some decent parts. 5, like I said, it's great. 6 is great too. 7 starts to kind of fall off a little bit, but has a nice ending. It's a good send off. Probably should just stop the franchise there. 8 is just too ridiculous, and I don't enjoy it. You can see The Rock starting to kind of get way too much control over everything, and just basically turn it into a superhero series like every movie he does now. And then, 9 is ridiculous too, but I don't know. I enjoyed 9 more than Hobbs and Shaw, just because like I don't know, maybe it just went so stupid I just enjoyed it again. Because like there's a scene, Josh, because I know you don't watch any of these, where they blast off in a car that has rockets on it, and they go into space and they crash into a satellite and they like destroy a satellite. And that's like as retarded as you think, but it's still entertaining. Oh yeah, I used.
All I know is that Paul Walker really fell off at 14.
He did. He what?
He really fell off. His career really fell off. He just stopped making movies. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, Grand Moff Tarkin still makes movies.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, if they have Grand Moff Tarkin, they should definitely have ATSTs and TIE fighters. But yeah, ATSTs. I fucking love Star Wars. I clapped because I knew what it was. Oh, come on. I want them to go. Somebody said, I want them to go back in time in Fast 10 and have chariot races in the Coliseum. I mean, why not at this point? Just introduce time travel. Just make it the dumbest, most ridiculous series ever, because they've already done it. Like, in the most recent Fast and Furious, they basically just had the characters say that they're actually superheroes and they're invulnerable, which is probably another reason why I enjoyed it so much.
Owners, snipe.
How the hell did that guy snipe me? Was he on top of, like, the gate? I wish that's another thing they need to add in this game, kill cams.
No,
yeah.
before I had him. That was enough.
But going back into the games, I still enjoyed 4. I thought it was fun, even though I didn't like the story and the characters and a lot of the designs and stuff as much. I didn't like a lot of the guns either. Like, I still prefer most of the analog guns, let's say, instead of the whatever it is, the digital guns. But in terms of the weapon, the weapons themselves, like, they still had some good guns in it. Didn't 4 also make the shotgun stronger again?
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, I like it. It's not very good too at all. And in 1, I think it's a boomstick in the first game, honestly.
This is my boomstick!
5 had a good shotgun.
The
Gold Bond's solid in this, but it's a totally different type of shotgun.
Some of the guns I didn't really like as much in this one when they first came out. Like, for example, I
yeah,
wasn't
you gotta
really...
learn them, right?
Yeah, I didn't really like the battle rifle anymore, and I actually...
Well, that's just because you're an idiot.
I also didn't like the, one gun I've never been, like, a big fan of in any of the games has been, like, just the automatic assault rifle. I've always just thought it was just a weaker gun. Like, I would prefer to use either the handgun or the It was what?
It was so good in the first game, and it was
Yeah.
amazing in 4. It was really
Yeah.
good in Halo 2.
They made it better, but
It wasn't in Halo
in this
2.
game I was using it a lot when I first started out.
The lead is yours.
Not doing that good.
Yeah, me neither. I also don't like that they don't let you start out with. I don't know. Maybe it's because you're playing with me while we're streaming.
So,
What the hell's that? Yeah, if only I had grenades, that would have been nice. I would have killed 4 people in one shot instead of, for some reason, you don't spawn grenades in this.
God, this lag is really, really killing me.
Wheels.
Stop, Penny.
En route.
I'll let you in during the break. Because you're so anxious to be in a collab with me.
Did you apply for proper permits?
I think you should shut the hell up.
We'll get him, Skeeter.
Now, Skeeter, we don't want no trouble.
See, I remember picking Shoddy Sniper. I picked the Yap Yap thing. Is this in there?
I don't know. Just keep showing sniper and shotgun every time I spawn.
Ah!
Yeah,
No
I
scope
just
from
saw
the
that.
sniper and switch my shotgun. We do that quicker. I've really fallen off. I flipped the mic. There you go. Somehow did not get a hit him with a sniper once.
Come on. I swear some of these people have aim assist on or something. Does BXR work in this game? What's BXR, Josh?
Halo 2, it's button combo.
I use mouse and keyboard. Maybe that's the joke, but
You wouldn't understand, Mike. It's high level Halo 2.
Victory
You
is
just
within
wouldn't get it, man.
either way, I didn't even get to talking about 5. Josh could talk about 5 because I've never played it. I
think
didn't
5
get the ability to do
there's
so.
a lot of issues.
Yeah, I mean the storyline is probably my least favorite of all the games. I didn't like basically anything about it. Like, I mean there were some interesting concepts, but like it felt like the game should have been 2 different campaigns, just split from 2 different perspectives with like Luke Cage's character and
rushed.
then yeah, and
Rushed, man.
it was disappointing to say the least, especially since I couldn't even play
Rushed
the
and
game.
discombobulated. And not like the band Rush either.
Yeah, they're the ones that sing "Owner of a Lonely Heart," right?
Yep, that's Def Leppard, I think.
Ground vehicle.
Yeah,
Requisition.
pour
Do
some
believe.
sugar on me is
My
my favorite
Lord,
Judas
correct.
Priest song.
Yep.
I mean, Iron Maiden's the band that sings
gonna win.
"Rust in Peace," right?
Yep.
Polaris to the Yeah, that's my favorite World War II German song.
That was Gojira.
Happy birthday to you. Oh shit, I don't want to get sued. Wow, we won. It was all my fault that we
You'll
won.
get sued for that one.
I think that people I just saw like a body fall in the background. So yeah, I didn't get the chance to play 5, but I did get the chance. I got the plants. I got the plants to Che.
You get the plants to what?
The plants to Che. Probably a side effect of plants on me right now. But I got the plants to Che, ODST, and Reach, and both of them were great. ODST, of course, starring Nathan Fillion, the guy who really should have played Nathan Drake in
Yeah,
the
technically
whatever the hell
start of the game.
those things are called, Uncharted games. Or I never actually played any of the Uncharted games, so I actually when I was on the plane coming back, I'm gonna customize my character a little bit again, Josh. When I was on the plane coming back, they actually did have the Uncharted movie, but I was like, I'm just gonna play these games at some point, so I'm not gonna watch the movie and just like ruin everything for myself. So I'll probably go and finally watch the or play the games, and then I'll watch the movie, and then I'll complain like everyone else does, because Tom Holland is Nathan Drake for some reason, and Maki Mock is whatever the hell the other character's name is.
Solely. Looks nothing
you're
fucking like him.
You're like a huge PlayStation person, right, Josh? So you know all about
I
Uncharted.
actually did grow up with PlayStation. That's the thing, though. Like, I grew up with PlayStation, N64. I mean, I had Atari.
A real one?
Grandma had 2600.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, my first console.
NES with the gun. Duck hunt gun with Mario Brothers.
Yeah. My
These
first
are
console.
different places that I've lived in, too.
Super
and been, like,
Nintendo.
you know, families I've visited and such, but...
I think the first ever game I played was Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo. That's the first one I ever remember playing when I was like 3 or 4 years old, and that was a lot of fun, you know. And Super Nintendo is like maybe my favorite console, although N64 is great too. Let me let my cat in because he won't stop complaining. Until then, you know, he'll be just like Lord Beerus, destroying and distracting. Yes, very vocal. How's it going, Penny? Do you want to play Halo? Is that what's happening here? So yeah, I would definitely like to play the Uncharted games. You ever play them?
I played them all, yeah.
They're basically like kind of like a Tomb Raider-ish game, like Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
That's why I got the impression.
I'd say they become more of their own thing as the games progress.
I
mean, I would say the second game is more its own thing.
It's time for an edition.
The fourth one's my favorite. That's the one that I feel like
Cat
really is a masterpiece.
Well, hello.
Well, I do like 2 a lot. A lot of people like 2. They think it's one of the best games ever made.
How are you doing?
I don't think it's quite that good, but
Are
4
you
is really good.
playing games down there? Hey. How goes it, Penny? Yes. Hi.
Should I start this?
Go ahead. Hey, you know not to do that. See, that's the thing with cats. They like to go after wires.
Yeah. Well, try owning a
Very
ferret.
uncomfortable close-up. You have a ferret?
No, but I used to, like, a long time ago. Those are pretty fucking cool to have.
Someone just said, why can't I see the semi-handsome Josh?
Too kind. That's not really, that's too nice.
Semi-handsome. There's my
Yeah.
very clear close-up of my face. Penny, what have I told you about going near those wires? Do you try to do these things to, frustrate me? Because that's the impression I'm getting.
Goodness gracious.
That's the last yappening match I want to play today. I want to play some others. I don't like this camera angle. That's what's annoying about having this like on delay. Let me try this now. It's also like tilted now. Let me get my guitar in the frame. But yeah, I did really like ODST. I thought that was really good. And Reach. They were both really good games. So, you know, story-wise, I barely remember Reach's story. Is Reach the one that ends where Halo 1 begins, or is that ODST?
That's Reach.
Okay, so I like Reach. It reminds me of Rogue One. And it came out before Rogue One, so maybe Disney ripped it off. And
Yeah, Rogue One is perfect.
yeah, very well written. You totally notice just how well written it is on replay. You know, I know because I've seen it 0.05 times. And yeah, including not in theaters. I've obviously seen Rogue One. Because, you know, I did a review on this channel like 10 years ago about it. It got like 700
You have a
views.
YouTube channel?
It got a lot of views, Josh. Like 777.
Earn the most kills to win.
That's
Very-
about as many
Then
people that
contact the
enjoyed the
authorities.
movie.
Yeah. ATSTs. ATSTs. Grim of Tarkin.
Much love that Warhog.
Oh, come on. Okay, thank God. I was gonna say, like, who the fuck stole my kill right when I was about to blow them up? But I did get a 360. That was cool. What editing software do I use? Adobe Premiere.
You've lost the lead.
What did you use to use, Josh?
Oh, Caden Live.
Use what?
Caden Live?
Oh yeah, was that like
Very
a
well
free
done.
one?
Yeah, it's one of the free ones. I know someone that used Movie Maker.
Yeah, Danny.
Yeah.
Used to literally, Geekdom 101 used to literally make his videos in Movie Maker. He would just record his audio on like audio recorder or whatever it was called.
And look at him now.
Oh yeah, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying this is literally how his process worked. And he would use Movie Maker. He would just put one picture in with his audio, and then he would upload that video, and it would get like hundreds of thousands of views. So yeah, I mean that's how some people do it on here. That's what, you know, when I work with a lot of my clients and stuff in my job, I'm like, you know, I have a friend who literally uploaded one picture and he talked about stuff in the background and it worked out well for him. So it doesn't really matter as long as you're passionate about what you do, you're knowledgeable, you have the drive and the motivation to upload all that stuff. You can do well on YouTube and all these other
You've
platforms.
lost the lead.
Uh-huh.
So
Oh, I'm
anyone,
dead.
if anyone needs inspiration, there you go. This guy right up here.
You know the inspiration. Let's get your shit together.
You're the inspiration.
That's kind of death.
Man, my frame rate is going crazy right now.
Frame
How
rate.
about yours? Yeah,
I'm not gonna let you get away with that one, Mike. Sorry. Can't allow it.
yeah, so I use Adobe Premiere. I still use that whenever I actually make videos, which is never, but, you know, sometimes I make them for my job. I do, like, little mini tutorials for everyone and stuff. I mean, sometimes they watch them, I think. That's something. I get a lot of views on the two people at my job who watch them. But hey, better monetization than on YouTube, I'll tell you that right now. I don't need people to watch advertisements that they skip it every single time that they get the opportunity to. Instead, I get a salary. Why didn't it attach to him?
Fuck!
But yeah, some people use like Camtasia, some people use Final Cut Pro. Yeah, some people literally edit YouTube videos on their phone. Whatever works for you, it doesn't matter.
Dumb cocksuckers.
You should ask Expert Games what he edits his videos on. I'm guessing that it has a time limit restriction. Hey, shut your fucking mouth or I'll kick your ass in 4 minutes. I'm guessing that's how he taunts people when he's playing Xbox. I'm gonna fuck your mother in 4 minutes. And then I'm gonna upload a video about it. That's totally how he sounds, right, everyone? My great Jason Statham impression.
Fuck!
Jason Statham, and I'm gonna kick you in 4 minutes.
Sounds a lot more like Arnold Schwarzenegger to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know who that Arnold Schwarzenegger man is. He's very scrawny, I'm guessing.
Oh, I'm the wreck. Arcane Sentinel.
Premiere is great, but Adobe's pure greed. Hey, I'm not shilling for Adobe. I will shill for Taco Bell though. I had it earlier, and I'll tell you guys.
The Taco Bell you were at seemed pretty cool.
Yeah, I did go to one Taco Bell when I was in Vegas. I did go to Taco Bell when I was in Vegas, and they did have alcohol there. It was pretty awesome. I got a Mountain Dew hard seltzer. It tasted exactly like a Mountain Dew Zero, but it had alcohol in it, which kind of blew my mind because I didn't know that was a thing that existed until I went to freaking Taco Bell in Viva Las Vegas, where everywhere you go you can drink alcohol. It was pretty crazy. Is Final Cut... For fuck's sake, I can't speak today. Is Final Cut Pro any good? Yeah. Only thing is that you can only use it on Mac. Why can't I
I'm
pick
sure
up
all
this,
of my streams make a lot of sense when you get my gameplay.
Yeah, so Final Cut Pro is good if you have Mac. It's actually really similar to Premiere. I used it... So my friend was in film school years ago, so a lot of times I would just use his editing software as I taught myself how to edit all videos and everything like that. And, you know, like, I'm self-taught with everything. You know, I never really went to film school or anything. I just did stuff on my own. And, that's where I used how... That's where I learned how to do just about everything I'm doing. That was so cool. The guy hit me with the hammer, and I went flying, and I smacked into the ground and bounced.
Very cool.
Very cool. What do you want now, Patty?
Man, this guy's had a battle. He just teabagged me.
Penny, I know you want attention, but, you know, there are a couple handfuls of people here that also have attention that they want. Yeah, so, yeah, Josh is on Xbox, whatever that thing's called, Xbox Chat. So that's the reason why he can't be seen.
Xbox Series X.
Let me check and see if my XP is still on. Oh, 6 minutes, cool. But when it expires in the middle of the game, we don't get anything, right? Like if our next game lasts less than 6 minutes.
Sure.
I guess we'll test it out. Let's do Tactical Slayer.
What's to do?
The industry moved away from Final Cut Pro for Avid and Premiere, so if you learn to expect to be mainly using it on small independent creators and vloggers if you're freelance. Yeah, I know that a lot of them got into Avid. I mean, they've been using Avid for a long time. I think that Aladdin is another really big one from what I remember. But yeah, Avid is one I never used, but I know it's a big one. If I edited movies, I'd probably just use Premiere, just because I like it, and the layout and the customization, everything like that. And of course, you know, the thing is, if I worked for a big studio, I would just have like another editor I'd be working with who would be doing most of the work, and I would just make suggestions. But working on my own as an independent filmmaker, I'd be fine doing doing Premiere. Unless, you know, I hired another editor to come in, but I mean, you can get like high-tier Hollywood editors to come and edit your movie, even if it's an independent. But I'm like micromanaging and controlling about literally every aspect of productions I'm involved in, so like I would have to be sitting there with the editor, or I would have to just make them re-edit everything that they do, so like, you know, I might as well just edit the movie at that point. I remember with a friend of mine...
Hope I never have to work for you, Mike.
Yeah. Don't worry, Josh, you won't. But I'm not going to hire you with that attitude. I'm like Stanley Kubrick, except, you know, I'm not going to waste 500 shots on one scene where a guy's talking to a kid and then you make him cry because of it.
Fatalities give points.
Why are we starting out with
Points
the melee?
Oh, you asked this.
I thought this was supposed
What
to
they
be,
gave us. It's not always battle rifles, Michael.
well, I want it to be.
Well, that's
They
not
just-
what they gave us.
What if they just started us out with, imagine if they just started us out with grenades. Just be like nothing. It would just be a massive massacre the entire time.
Imagine if,
Massive massacre and a beautiful
well, Halo
bloodbath.
3 SWAT had grenades.
Gotcha, bitch! I do like that I can kill them with one shot with melee. I'm having the weirdest frame rate and stuff right now, where like people are walking like slowly, and then they just speed up out of nowhere, and then they go back to walking slowly.
Pub lag.
Yeah, but I haven't really gotten it like this before.
Elderly man.
Gain the lead.
Gain the
You
lead!
could tell I'm a big gamer, right, guys? Because I know all the terminology. To be fair, my turn-based RPG games never lag. So, you know.
Yeah, it's true. They also can't connect to the internet. Makes
I
them
know everyone
horrible.
hates them nowadays. Like there was, I don't know if it was mobile or not,
Yeah,
but
Final Fantasy 6, not good.
yeah, Final Fantasy 7 trash. Let's remake it and take away first the turn-based combat, even though that's obviously not what they really did. Come on, I fucking fired on
They did a
him.
really good job with Tifa.
Yeah, they totally didn't. They totally didn't de-emphasize any of her body parts.
Well, you know. As the wise words of one of our friends would be, I'd throw a hump in her.
Yeah, she's a totally real woman that you would be able to do that with,
Very
Josh.
real. Very real.
What the hell? That was such weird lag. I hit him with the melee, and then, like, a second later he hit me, and then he and I died at the same time.
Spartan down.
Great job, 343. You're doing an excellent job with this game, which reminds me, 343 also eventually went on to make Halo Infinite. A game that we were at no point told would have multiplayer, that had a very interesting progression system,
Halfway to victory.
and tons of customization, and also, you know, co-op. I mean, co-op was totally a thing that was going to come out like very shortly after the initial game. Like Cyberpunk. No parallels
It took
whatsoever
a whole
between
fucking
Cyberpunk
year.
and Halo. When's the constantly moving deadline again for
November something.
yeah.
Well, I teabagged that guy. If I see him, he just hit me. He hit me while I was dead. He's gonna get it.
Somebody just said that Tifa's tiggled biddies are still Tig, and I don't
Yeah,
disagree
real.
there. But are they Tig enough? That's the real
Yeah.
question. Are they Tig old biddies enough?
We're not in the business of complaining.
Yeah. I guess you haven't seen my channel. Yeah, that guy was totally gonna
Mike
get up, Josh.
complains?
We all know that I'm, like, you know, the most positive Dragon Ball YouTuber ever, and that I have never been anything other than complimentary to Dragon Ball, and yeah, you know,
Very
I
good
also speak
pronunciation, by the way.
speak very quickly, and I also pronounce everything 110% accurately. Especially when I try and do my Japanese pronunciations. I'm also excellent at this game. I haven't died once this match.
I'm sure you've gotten a lot of kills as well.
Actually, I've died the least out of everyone in the match so far. I don't know how.
Well, what cowering in the corner does.
Yeah, I'm lucky I have Josh from Dragon Ball Nation. Come on, it's Josh from According to Josh, everyone. Can you guys like stop calling him DBN? It's
What's more popular channel?
It's ATJ. Which sounds like a sex act. I'll have an ATJ. Oh no, hold the mayo.
What?
Was it ass to Josh instead of ass to mouth?
Uh-oh.
Gotcha, bitch.
I'll provide Overwatch, Martin.
See, the thing is, I'm actually good at survival games.
I'm making piss.
Was that the Bear Grylls version? I'm drinking piss.
I'm drinking.
I'm drinking piss. Today on the channel, I'll be drinking piss. And not my own piss, someone else's piss.
Gordon Ramsay just came in today, and he asked us to serve him this bowl of piss and shit. This is a delectable dish of piss and shit. For anyone who likes, I think it was meat canyon.
I walked into the hotel, and I noticed that the piss was not boiling. No boiling piss.
I had the chance to go to Hell's
It's
Kitchen
like
when I was in
walking into a
Vegas, and I
Chinese
didn't do it. I
restaurant without
really
boiling
should
tea.
have. Have you ever thought of making a troll video where you mispronounce every video? Well, yeah, I literally have. I mean, I've done videos in the past where I purposely mispronounce things just to, like, just to have fun with it. You know, like, the time I said Dabara instead of Deborah. I was like, and talking about villains, up next is Dabara. But yeah, like doing an entire video, I've considered making one that's called, that's just called Dragon Ball Names Pronounced Correctly. Damn it, whoever this is.
I got first on our team again. 3 assists. Look at 3 assists. I got 3 assists. No one else got any on our team, at least. On our side.
Drinking piss while unnecessarily hanging off of a rock Bear Grylls, probably. Oh, okay. Well, the thing is, Bear Grylls is full of shit too, because he would go out in public or to these, like, you know, locations, and he would just be like, I'm gonna stay here and survive, and then he would, like, when the cameras weren't rolling, he'd go like stay in a tent, and he'd have like all these people helping him. So yeah, he's full of shit. Is there any way for us to play it with just battle rifles?
Nope.
Oh, I guess we'll find out if we can get them now.
I probably got another match in me. Really probably be.
Wow.
I gotta be in bed by like 9:45ish, 10.
One more.
But while I get enough sleep to drive for 3 hours straight.
Oh yeah. I have to drive myself from my bedroom to my office for my job.
Yeah.
It's very
I
hard
wake
work.
up at about 5 or 5:15 tomorrow. I have to have the bus ready to go at 6 o'clock and start my route.
It's gonna be
Then
interesting.
I'll be done my route by like 8:30 or 9, and then keep going with my day.
Yeah.
It's not easy to drive that long right in the morning before waking up early.
Yeah. I've tried driving when it's like when I'm just like dead tired, and it's not good. You could barely even see sometimes, like when you're really
I probably
tired.
drive 250 to 300 miles a week.
Slayer.
Well, no, that's actually a fucking low ball.
And this is Laughingstock Nation. We're all about low balls.
Low hanging.
Yeah. Mine are, my balls are 1 centimeter from the floor when I'm standing up.
Is it normal to have one testicle about 12 times larger than the other? Or should I get that checked out?
I think that's called elephantitis, Josh.
Oh,
Out
his
to safety
sidekick
end.
squad. This will be fun. Come on. No, this will be good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm good with the sidekick.
Yeah, I've always been the best with handguns in these games.
I got a triple kill already. Good lord. Omae wa mo shinderu. Nani? Killing spree. Double kill.
You already got 5?
Elephantitis. 7
You're
kills already.
fucking
my
dead.
You fucking degenerate.
You fight like a girl.
Halo, Halo, Halo.
Yeah,
Halo.
that's a big missed opportunity. They never actually had that. They never actually had that play in any of the games.
Damn it!
By that
9 kills in a
incredibly
row, damn
talented
it.
singer who totally deserves everything she's got.
Look at the
in terms
scoreboard
of
for
her
the chat, please. Just look at the scoreboard for chat. To show them how I am leading the charge in our match here.
I'm
And you've
leading
played
in,
with me. This is frequent. This is a frequent occurrence.
Lost the lead.
That's the only reason.
Like,
I
I will
talked
be
to
the only
Josh.
one doing anything in our whole game.
I love playing with Josh because he always makes me look great by comparison.
I match you with very, very unskilled
Gained
players,
the
right?
lead.
Yeah, I'll tell you guys that you know, there's a chance I might play after Josh leaves tonight, and you know,
Oh,
you'll
fair
see
enough.
that something always happens, which is that
He
when
wants
I
to
don't
prove
play
himself.
when I don't play with Josh, I tend to go on like massive winning streaks. So like you guys will see.
Killing spree.
Like, I've had games where I get, like, 30 kills in one match, just because Josh isn't there. He's not cramping my style.
Double kill.
Double kill.
Fuck! 15-3. I mean, the best player on this team has 5 kills. Except they're still almost beating us. Like, this math isn't at, this doesn't seem right.
Yeah. This lag is killing me, too.
Spartan down.
Damn it, Josh. Stop stealing my kills. I should have had
Oh,
15 by now,
Stop
for
stealing
sure.
the kills, huh? If it wasn't for you, I would have already had 30.
I mean, to be fair, you and I are tied in deaths.
I would have had 30 kills if it wasn't for you.
I would have had 30 kills if it wasn't for these people with their good internet connections.
Right.
Hey, Josh, we're tied in one of the numbers. That's all that matters. And I'm winning in one of the other ones.
I feel like I'm the only person on the team of a team-based tug-of-war game. You ever play those tug-of-war matches where it's like 5 people lined up and they're all tugging on the rope?
Is that a sex
Yeah, I
thing?
feel like I'm the only person.
Doctor.
Lost the lead.
Dude, how did you not die? Nice lag.
This T, you have a very well put, eloquent comment that is in no way randomized or indicative of falling asleep on your keyboard. You also have the most intelligent character in all of SpongeBob on your profile picture, so I appreciate that too. This guy behind us, Josh.
He's dead. Someone else got me.
He's dead, but is he gone? In the metaphorical or literal sense.
I'm starting to fall behind. That team's not helping.
Tango's closing in.
It's right on top of me.
Triple
Okay,
kill.
I definitely hit him. You could even hear that connect. It just, for some reason, just lagged out of existence, I guess.
Motherfucker!
Oh, that's why. I'm looking at my millisecond, like, my, lag delay and everything. It's
Oh, I got
literally going
60,
from, like...
don't worry.
No, it's not my, it's my internet connection. It's literally jumping from, like, the 40s to, the same guy I've hit multiple times, and he just isn't taking
yeah.
any damage. It's going
fine,
from
my
the
milliseconds,
40s
yeah.
to, like, up to 200, like, randomly. No wonder
Maybe
it's
the
lagging
servers are
like
just
crazy.
being rough today. I have unstable packet loss.
You have what? Unstable
Unstable
package?
packet loss, I guess.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that before.
Yeah, my balls are loose or something, I think. Fuck, dude.
So yeah, guys, if you have any questions, just feel free to throw them in the chat. We talked about every Halo game thus far. In terms of overall Halo games, I think my favorite is 2 or 3. I do really like most of the other ones. Penny, stop scratching that. And yeah, overall, I think it's a pretty great video game franchise. This guy, I swear, is hacking. And it's definitely one that I'd recommend if you like the first-person shooter genre. And science fiction. And a combination and melding, amalgamation of the two, in fact.
Mike, I got 26 kills. That's over half of our kills to win the game.
I got
You tell
less
me the
deaths
other
than
two
you,
players
Josh.
couldn't have picked up the pace.
I was in the lead in terms of deaths if we're going by golf rules.
Oh.
Or tennis.
I think they call that a bogey.
Or a bogan in Australia. Let's see if I got double XP. I did not. So I guess it does work that way, which is really dumb. They literally make you spend money on these things, and then like if you start a match with them and the match finishes after your double XP is run out, you get nothing. You get nothing, sir! Good day to you! Gotta love 343. Did you ever play any of the Deus Ex games? No, I actually haven't, but I think I have all of them on Steam. I have like 150 something games on Steam. I've played not even 10 of them, I think. Except for the ones I've already played in the past before I got them on Steam. That's the thing
SRM. I was
What's
gonna
that,
say SRM said that I was supposed to kill the team. What happened?
I mean, he did. You know, like 27 kills.
My weight capacity was too much.
Yeah, Josh, you need to stop eating so much Taco Bell.
I had 26 kills out of 50. I mean, Jesus Christ. I think the best player on their team had like 16 kills, 15. So and I started falling off at the end. I had 9 kills for a good start.
Yeah. So, did you want to play any more matches, or do you gotta go?
I'm about ready to fall asleep.
Alrighty, Josh. Well, I'll let you go for now.
Yep. Enjoy the rest of the stream.
Yeah, I'm gonna play some more Halo and actually probably do well. And with that being said, we'll have to play again next week or something, or we'll have to do something again next week.
Yeah. One of these weekends I'm doing a work weekend, but I don't
That's
really
all
know which
good.
one it is. I'll let you know.
Maybe I'll have another guest on one of those days. Who knows?
Yeah, like Bill Burr.
Yeah, I'll have Bill Burr, and we'll totally have a very politically correct stream in that one.
You'll have Roach Jogan on.
Yeah, Rojogan, and he'll say that it's entirely impossible, and he'll only say it once.
It's
and never say
entirely
it again.
impossible that a buddy of mine.
It's entirely impossible that a buddy of mine
alright, well.
did DMT while eating elk, and Jamie pulled that up.
Hold on, Jamie.
Eat the stars of death.
Alright, well, I'll probably be around next week, so.
Alright, Josh. I will see you later. Bye, everybody, for Josh.
See you later.
And I'm just going to play a little bit more on here. Little bit more Halo. Hey guys, give this a like if you're here. I know that supposedly helps with the algorithm and showing this to more people, so if you're wondering why more people aren't showing up, it's probably because of that. Just throw some more likes on there, share the video out, have some fun. At the end of the day, this is not going to be something that the algorithm really approves of, because I'm talking about Halo on a channel that only really is ever pushed for Dragon Ball purposes, but I don't really care, because like I said before, when I came back, let me actually make this full screen so I can make this more of an announcement. Will that work? I don't recall, so let me see. Nope, it's not working. Great. Kamehameha! Alright, screw up. So yeah, like I said before, I don't care. That's kind of the point here. I'm just going to have fun on my own channel, and I don't care if the algorithm promotes me. I don't care if YouTube promotes me. I do do not care because I'm just here to have fun now. I appreciate everyone who comes and watches these videos, these streams. I know this isn't what I typically have done, but I'm here doing whatever I want. Like I said, this channel is now going to be experimental. It's not the same way it used to be before. Now I play Halo on a live stream on my channel and just have fun on my own. Now I do a bunch of things because I can, and that's just how it's going to be. That's how I want it to be. That's how I like it to be. So that's how it's going to be moving forward. If you like that, I appreciate you jumping on and joining me for the ride. If not, well, maybe the next thing I talk about will be something more to your liking. Either way, I'm just having some fun here today. And let's get back into the game. Yes, I am watching House of the Dragon. The thing is that I actually was in Vegas for the past week, so I didn't get the chance to see the newest House of the Dragon episode from last week. I didn't get the chance to see the newest Lord of the Rings episode. Lord of the Rings, I should say. Totally a Tolkien-made series, not fan fiction at all with a high budget. Or a generic fantasy with Lord of the Rings slapped onto it. And also, I haven't seen Cobra Kai season 5 yet, I think. I love Cobra Kai. I think it's great. I've always liked the Karate Kid movies. Even as a kid, I liked the next Karate Kid with Hilary Swank. I don't really care. I did enjoy that. Nowadays, probably not, but I haven't seen it in like at least 15 years, I feel like. But yeah, I remember the scene with Mr. Miyagi catching the arrow. So yeah, I do really like Cobra Kai. I think it's a really well-made series that started on YouTube, interestingly, and it was on Netflix, and they did a great job bringing back the old characters, developing them, make everything far more interesting, turning storylines in the past that were really campy or just not done well into great storylines, and probably because it was created by John G. Alvinson, I do see a lot of similarities between another really great franchise, Rocky, and Cobra Kai, or rather the Karate Kid franchise, I guess you would refer to it as. And yeah, I mean, I almost feel like it's basically as good as something like a Creed series. Or honestly, it's better than Creed because, I did like the second one. I don't think it's as good. But we've only gotten 2 Creed movies so far for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why, because I do really like the Creed movies. You'd think that they would have done 2 or 3 others since then, or since it originally started. But nonetheless, Cobra Kai is great, but I haven't seen the new season yet. I'm looking forward to it when I finally do. And, I'm looking forward to the next 2 House of Dragon episodes. And I'm also looking forward to. Well, I'm not looking forward to Lord of the Rings, to be honest, whenever I watch it. But yeah, I will watch it. That's the thing. I always try and give things a chance. I love Lord of the Rings. I love the Legendarium of Tolkien. I've read all of the books. I have all of them. And I'm a huge fan. It's a huge inspiration to me as a writer, especially of fantasy. So I really desperately want them to make more good Tolkien stories because, he has some masterpieces that haven't been made yet. But unfortunately, for whatever reason, they'd rather just make fan fiction rather than just getting the rights to Silmarillion and, whatever else it is they're doing that's delaying them actually making like the War of Wrath and the War of the Jewels and all these other awesome stories that they could be making rather than like, let's see Galadriel, look for Sauron. Let's have this elf and this woman who are in love. Let's have Elrond hang out with Celebrimbor and lead up to the creation of the rings. That's actually an interesting story so far. I'll be totally honest. I do really like well, I'm not gonna say I really like, but I do find that the most interesting by contrast out of all of them thus far. This lag's really annoying. But yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely not liking the series so far. I wish I did, because, like I said, I love Tolkien's Legendarium and everything, but unfortunately, It's just like a generic fantasy with Tolkien slapped on it so far. House of the Dragon's really good though. Um, like I'm not as big of a Game of Thrones fan and Westeros, Song of Ice and Fire and stuff as I am Lord of the Rings. But with that being said, I do really still enjoy Game of Thrones. I have the books, which I've read. And additionally, let's see, I haven't read the prequel, Blood of the Dragon, I think it's called. But I'm planning to as I'm going back and reading all the books again. And, I'm hoping that it will be good as well. Okay, cool. I killed the flag carrier and the accompaniment. And yeah, there's going to be some buffering, guys, because YouTube is not really working the best right now. Uh, this game's definitely having some glitches or issues with the servers. Amazon's defilement of Lord of the Rings is just propaganda and demoralization, says JP Hataraki. And, I mean, Lord of the Rings is an example of a great type of Western mythology, let's say. Lord of the Rings is an excellent example of telling a story in a way that's not only really well done, groundbreaking, that was able to introduce a lot of other mythological elements to the Western world, popularize them in a sense, and turn everything into, the kind of fantasy that we have today. Penny, stop it. I love cats. But yeah, it was a very great example of something that Tolkien did that was just amazing. Like the world building, the creation of languages, so many of these other elements and aspects were just so well done. But unfortunately, it was put in the hands later on of lesser minds that have less interest in actually telling a good, compelling story and narrative, and more interest in rather creating, you know, politically driven propaganda or telling stories that just aren't anywhere near as interesting or compelling with far weaker themes than, what we have seen from Tolkien in the past. And also being fundamentally contradictory to the themes, the elements, the aspects, and everything that Tolkien himself integrated into his stories to begin with as a strong Catholic, who, obviously infused much of those beliefs into what he said is a fundamentally Catholic work in Lord of the Rings, which means that inherently, when they put things in that fundamentally disagree with the political beliefs of J.R.R. Tolkien as well as the religious beliefs, you end up getting something that obviously goes completely against everything that he would have put in his work and is ultimately a huge problem because that is not something that he or Christopher or anyone else in his family would ever realistically, do. Obviously, this is conflated by idiots and people who themselves are just ideologues into being racism and sexism and all these other things that obviously they're not. It's incredibly disingenuous to say that's the case, but nonetheless, that is something that's done on a constant, recurring basis. And, you know, as a result, we tend to get a lot of the arguments that we see today where these people are screaming at the top of their lungs that anyone who disagrees with, the message is, an evil person and vice versa, and all this the stuff that we see all the time, which obviously they're not. They're just are passionate fans who actually understand the world building, the lore, and everything like that. But that's something that these studios have purposely done in order to try and turn everyone against one another. It's another way of controlling everyone in the audience and making them just blind servants of the people who control these intellectual properties that they're holding hostage, so that you'll actually go and be their own PR team and defend their terrible writing and world building and stories and all this other stuff, all for the purpose of making them money so that they could capitalize on something that you love. So yeah, that is basically, the Lord of the Rings franchise and the Star Wars franchise now, and a lot of these others that are, being held hostage by people who don't actually care about these things. Most of the time, they actually have never even seen them or read the books or anything like that, because they purposely bring in people with a fresh perspective, as they like to refer to it as, which just means somebody who doesn't know anything about the stories and literally is going to do a worse job than a fan when it comes to making these things, because of the fact that, they don't know shit. And I can make a better Lord of the Rings story than these people, which goes to show you that, they're untalented hacks. But I'm still giving it a shot. I'm still trying to to do it, because obviously I want it to be good. But it's, unlike all the people who are like, you can't judge it, it's only been this many episodes. Yeah, but those many episodes, they line up with like one of the movies, and Fellowship of the Ring is one of the greatest masterpiece films in the history of cinema. Probably my favorite Lord of the Rings movie, actually. And it did an amazing job of setting up the story, telling an emotional, compelling narrative, and literally everything else that we see in that amazing masterpiece of a film that easily gets a 10 out of 10 because of how amazing it is. But, the new Lord of the Rings show exists, I guess, and is Lord of the Rings, I guess. But yeah, we'll see. Get deep on us, why don't you? Am I being deep right now? I don't quite know. As some of you may know, when it comes to analyzing things, I'm a very shallow thinker. I totally don't put any deeper thought into anything. Neither do the creators or the writers or the people who literally think about every single word that goes into every single sentence of their work. It's just entertainment. Turn your brain off. Don't ever think about anything ever, because, it's just a show for people's amusement. That's what they want you to think, by the way, because it makes it easier for them to make a franchise when you have a bunch of sheep who don't question anything you do. And then the wolves come in and they eat those sheep. Read Animal Farm. Read 1984. Read Fahrenheit 457. Read A Brave New World. Those are some good book recommendations I'll give you. Yeah, you should definitely read, well, I would say read Lord of the Rings and watch it, but you should read The Hobbit first, before you read Lord of the Rings, because there's so many references to The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings that you never pick up on. It's like going into the Dragon Ball franchise, for instance. If you don't ever watch Dragon Ball, you're not going to understand so many of the references. Same thing with The Hobbit. But with the movies, it's the other way around. It's like Star Wars, where you have to watch the originals first, and then you go and watch the prequels, because you just want to watch everything in order of release, so that you end up getting the best version, the best understanding of what you're seeing and why it's so important. Because, some people watch Star Wars for the first time starting with episode 1, but that's inherently not the best idea, because the fact that even though George Lucas has argued you're supposed to, and people are like, well, George Lucas said it, creator must be correct. Same thing with whenever Toriyama changes his mind about things. George Lucas, says it, but when you actually watch the original trilogy, you get blown away by twists like, "Hey Luke, I'm your father, by the way," because that's totally how he said it. And also, can I not get spawn killed? That'd be great. So yeah, there's so many things that are better when you watch the original trilogy before the new ones. In The Hobbit's like that too, where you understand why the things happening are important. But in the books, it's the other way around, where you understand some of the things that are happening in Lord of the Rings better because you read The Hobbit. So they kind of reversed that on you. They Uno reversed it. Oh, come on. Come on. There we go. I poked him to death. I gave him the jab. Like many other people, he didn't survive. Torginabulu. Threw it out of bounds. Now we got a chance. Geez, stop dropping the ball. What is this, Dragon Ball Super? Last shot. That is kind of a cool little achievement there. See, I told you guys I do better when I don't play with Josh. He's bad luck, right? Told you. "13 kills. I mean, it's still terrible compared to some people, but hey, we got victory. Look at that cool pose with that lightsaber there. That's totally what's called in Halo. So how you guys doing tonight? Glad that you all tuned in. I should put on my experience share. What is this Pokemon? Josh's terrible internet always ruins me. I swear, when they do matchmaking in this game, like they either do it based upon one of the people's internet or they do it based upon their level, something like that, because it's just something always changes when I play on my own versus with Josh. I don't think we ever had this issue when we played in the other games either. It's like I go from facing like the toughest people in the game then to facing people who are like noobs or something. I never really liked joining a game in progress, but I guess we'll have to settle for it today. Ooh, here we go. I know some people would swap out the assault rifle and keep the handgun, but I just prefer rifles and shotties. And overshields. Although this is actually a camo. An active camo rather than, you know, a that was interesting. I never heard them say that was messy before. Yeah, Dune is great. I honestly like the David Lynch Dune too. Maybe that's like sacrilege to say these days, but I actually like that one. But yeah, the new one by Denis Villeneuve is great. And that's actually how you're supposed to pronounce his name. Everyone pronounces his name wrong, which is always funny to me. Denis Villeneuve? Nah, it's Denis Villeneuve. I know it was round 1, but what about round 2? What about second round? For some Lord of the Rings memes. Oh, come on, you bastard. Stole my freaking battle rifle. I'll use you as target practice. Thank you, now I get my battle rifle. Awesome. Thanks, War Wagon, I wanted that battle rifle. Isn't it nice how the world kind of does for you what you want it to? Ask and you shall receive, as a wise man once said. Ooh, shoddy. Don't mind if I... What the hell is it? Don't mind if I do. Everybody get on the flag carrier. Don't you love when people don't play the objective? Josh, are you playing a game? How funny would that be if Josh was actually on my team? Did Harold teach you how to say it? How to say what? You gotta be more specific. There's a lot of words that can constitute it. Is it you son of a bitch? You son of a bitch. I'm getting better at my Harold impression. Because I'm totally not Harold. Totally. Woo, I'll get you, bitch! Can you get the flag or right next to it? And what are these people doing? It's like they're not even playing the game. Oh, how to say that director's name? No, he's French. Nundator! Also, remember, Harold isn't actually from Austria. He's from Space Austria. It's like a different planet in another universe. The only reason Harold comes here is because he uses the power of the gains to insert himself into our reality. The problem is, like, Harold's like dark side though. So because of that, like, if he inserts his full gains into the universe, he'll destroy all of existence. So he basically has to do other things like use avatars and not the Last Airbender or the shitty blue ones, but avatars, and also he additionally has to sometimes put his gains in other people and take them over, which isn't creepy at all. Ooh, interactable environments. Don't mind if I do. If only that did something. Might be coming around. Not yet. Why? Question mark. Oh shit! They came around. I saw that predator way too soon, or way too late, actually. Yeah, Harold definitely does like to get up in there. He likes to stick his gains in your exhaust port. That was round 3, announcer. Pay attention. There we go. I actually got the good gun for once. Now I'll monopolize the weapons, which in themselves are actually vehicles. There we go. That was easy. I love just destroying shit at the end of the game. It's like playing Soul Calibur, where you just keep hitting your enemy over and over after you beat them. It's just no point at that point. Just have fun, go crazy. Alright, let's see other challenges I might have at the moment. Oh, land grab, okay. Do like land grab. Usually pretty good at that one. This is different, right, guys? I used to do this on Twitch sometimes. Ironically, there seem to be comparable numbers now. But hey, that's what happens when you don't upload for a long period of time. YouTube isn't necessarily the most favorable on your algorithm. That being said, you know, it's not like anytime I used to upload any video that had anything to do with something other than Dragon Ball, my topics would get a lot of views anyway. That's just the nature of the platform. It doesn't quite matter if you upload whatever it is that you want, because YouTube will promote whatever it is that they want. So, you know, sometimes you have to just stick to uploading the same thing over and over and over again if you want to get in the algorithm. And then even when you do that, sometimes they'll say screw you and not actually promote those videos during a month or two just because they don't want to anymore. Whereas other channels will get promoted every single time they upload anything, even a video of them just like, you know, sitting on the toilet and counting their money. Or, you know, just totally fraudulent channels, hypothetically, that give out tons of money to people that was actually given to them by YouTube, so that at that point, when they give that money out, they could pretend that they're giving people millions of dollars when in fact that was actually given to them by other companies and stuff, and they're not actually giving anyone any money, and then they're still making all that money back even if they do. So they're not really doing anything that charitable or cool in the process. But then they get promoted on the front page and they get tons of views, and then people are like, wow, this guy is so cool. He's so charitable. He's such a great guy. I totally want to become a YouTuber and serve the algorithm and, give them my hard earned time and money for very little money and views and promotion itself. Did you know that YouTuber is actually the #1 job that many people that many kids nowadays of the younger generation want to be? I suggest rethinking your career paths, people. Just a little bit of a little bit of insight there. I definitely don't recommend doing YouTube full time for a career because it's not worth it. Whether it be financially, the vast, 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 vast majority of people on this platform will either never earn a dime, or even if they do, it's not going to be worth all the time and effort that they put into making the content anyway. Additionally, there are certain things that you have to do basically in order to do well on here that, are themselves not really something that you're going to want to do, and it's going to just ultimately make you feel like shit for doing it because you're going against your own morality and your own things that you might have, like, codes and standards and things that you believe in that YouTube is going to kind of weed out in terms of making you do certain things which inherently will help you to grow by clickbaiting and lying and deceiving and doing all those things. At least that's a quick and easy path to the dark side, but nonetheless, it's something that you're not going to really enjoy doing even if you're successful on the platform, unless of course you're like a sociopath, and then there's tons of those people who do well on here too because they don't really care. All they care is that they're making money and they have clout and stuff like that, which if all you care about is being validated on the internet, then go for it. But I just think that YouTube, really the biggest benefit you're going to have to doing YouTube is to have fun or to lead people into another business or venture or something that you're doing. Because if you're just doing this to become big YouTuber and make tons of money, then you're never going to have a good time doing this. Because I can tell you, as somebody who has over 130,000 subscribers, tens of millions of views, who did this for a living for a number of years, you're not going to have fun doing it if that's your entire goal. And, unless you're like a 1 in a million, 1 in a billion person who's going to make tons of money on the platform, you're just not going to, it's just not going to be viable for you. And everyone, it's the idea of, anyone can at least try and do this and do that. But at the same time, it's, I don't know, it's just not worth it if that's going to be like the big career path everyone's following, because you're going to rely entirely on a company and what they're trying to push at the time, what the algorithm wants to push, and just you could have your entire career, years and years of hard work and dedication, be flushed right down the toilet in an instant if they decide that they either want to shadow ban you or don't want to promote you or just do a million different things that are not to your benefit and are only to your detriment. So yeah, don't become a YouTuber if you want to do this for a career. Just do it for fun as a hobby. Do it for, pushing another business that you could actually make a real profit off of, or just like actually do something, that you're passionate about and lead people from YouTube into it. But don't do YouTube as a career, because it's even if you succeed, even if you make a lot of money, you're probably just gonna be miserable doing it. And that's something I learned the hard way. That's something that a lot of people do. And then so many people get burnt out or they just hate the platform when they're done because of just how it is. Odin's Raven. By Odin's Raven. I think my armor looks pretty cool, to be honest. I wish I could change up a little bit more, obviously. I'd make it way more customized if I could, but I do like it. Another thing is, too, when it comes to your kids wanting to become YouTubers, maybe they can do it. Maybe they can have fun. But there are certain things when it comes to social media and when it comes to platforms like this that really you're going to want to protect your kids from, because just some of what happens on here and the culture around it and everything just really isn't something that you're going to want your family members to necessarily be doing if you really care about them, because you don't want them to become depressed and their entire lives revolve around internet validation and, just everything that happens with regards to social media and why people really get so burnt out and depressed making these videos and, leading them in directions that I don't even want to reference on here. That's the thing, just like in my last video, I'm totally honest with you guys about how I feel about this platform, how I feel about, social media in general. I think it's a great tool, but like great tools often are, they could be used for good or they could be used for evil. And I know that nowadays we're supposed to believe there's no such thing as objective evil or morality or X, Y, and Z, but I hate to break it to you. Those things are a lot more objective than they're made out to be nowadays in our current culture and our current media. The laughingstock media, as it were. If you're okay with giving into evil to make your channel do well and to, make that deal with the devil just so you can get some more views and some validation, then go for it. Everyone has free will, but I'm not. I never have been, never will be, and that's why I'm just doing this for fun right now. And when I help people with their own platforms at my job, I do it because I know that what they're going to be doing it for is of real benefit to them, rather than just trying to validate themselves on the internet and just try and be a social media influencer because they want to look cool on the internet. Coming around. Oh, thanks. That's the thing I wanted it to be, now, just a fun conversation, or sometimes not fun, let's be honest, between you and I, and just doing what we do and having fun along the way, and, I don't know. I'm tired. I know it's surprising, but I don't always, have an amazing, I don't know, amazing ability to speak when I'm tired or when I'm just speaking off the cuff. And yeah, either way, it's totally fine. But I do want it. I do want it. What the hell is wrong with you, Mike? I do, in fact, want it to be like this right now. I think, the thing is, my growth has actually suffered since I came back in some regard, because that's how YouTube works, where I literally went from not uploading for 9 months to uploading, and then I actually started losing more subscribers, and in some ways was my main, baseline views actually started to go down. But whatever. Like I said before, when I came back, that's not my concern. I don't really care. And I'm just doing this because I wanted to, and I wanted to come back and utilize something that I wasn't utilizing, a tool, and use it for, like I said before, you could use it for good, you could use it for evil, or in my case, I'm kind of just doing it neutrally. I'm doing it for fun and for the experience of doing it. Maybe I'll actually do better over time, and I'll start having this be like the thing I'm known for on YouTube. I go from being the guy that people like to listen talk about Dragon Ball for some reason to being somebody that people like to listen to my podcast, and I bring on guests and they're like, "Wait a second, Mike, you like Dragon Ball? I didn't know that." And yeah, I mean, it's entirely possible, to quote another podcaster. And no, I didn't take speech in school. Actually, I was always an introvert throughout my entire life. I never really talked that much. I never really liked to speak. I was always really shy. And, I didn't have the best social skills in some regard. I probably still don't. Maybe some of the people at my job can tell you that. But nonetheless, the thing is that, I just realized that eventually that just having some of these skills would inherently be a better benefit to me than not. Instead of trying to be a introvert and reclusive person and all these other things, that instead I would actually benefit more by learning how to speak, and by being articulate about the things I'm passionate about, and doing a variety of different things I do now. And so I just forced myself to do it. I taught myself most things I know in life, to be honest. I taught myself how to read, because growing up I had dyslexia. So, like, when I was a little kid, I couldn't really read correctly. But nowadays, I can, because I just sat down, I wanted to read more, and so I taught myself how to read. I taught myself how to talk. I taught myself how to edit, how to record, how to structure videos, all these other things. I just taught myself because I had the passion for it. I had the initiative to do it, and so I did it. I sat down, I made myself do it, and I guess you could say it worked out. Or maybe you think I'm terrible at it, and then it didn't work out. See, perspective definitely plays a part in that. I know there's a lot of people who don't like my content, and you're free to like and dislike whatever you want. That's kind of one of the things as human beings. We have different tastes and different ideas, concepts, all that stuff. We have different worldviews, perspectives, axioms, presuppositions, belief systems, viewpoints, ethos, pathos, plus, minus, scarlet and violet. Fucking idiot. Like, I would have killed that guy if he didn't, like, blast me away with his, whatever the hell that thing's called. But yeah. And that just goes to show you that everyone has the ability to really change and to improve and make themselves better if you're just aiming for it and you're trying for it, I lost 100 pounds in the past year. I have changed my life around in many ways to where I have a new career. I'm doing a totally different thing on YouTube, which I've changed my whole mentality around in terms of how I approach this platform. That's just me. If I could do all this stuff, why can't anyone else change and make improvements in their life too, and be, the best version of themselves they can be? Because that's what I aim for, at least, to try and be the best version of myself I can be. And, anyone else can do that too, right? You just, set some goals, set some standards, work toward them, set some mini goals along the way. For me, losing weight, for example, I just made myself stop eating certain foods. I learned and taught myself how to cook my own food. Now I cook pretty much all my own meals. I eat a certain type of food. I still have cheat days and cheat meals and stuff like that whenever I feel like it, but I do my best to make as much of my food as possible, and I prefer my own food anyway. When you start to make your own food, you realize all these fast food places you go out to, they're not really good. They're actually just like selling you cheap food for a lot more of a markup than it's really worth. You can make a lot of these foods yourself for much cheaper, and you could get a thing of chicken at the store and make it last a whole week. You can cook it in a variety of different ways, and you could do that same thing for a variety of other things. You save so much money just making your own food too, compared to going out and eating all the time and all this other stuff that I used to do. I used to go out to eat every single day, sometimes more than once a day. I get Domino's over and over again, $20, $20, $20, all that stuff adds up. And then when you do your taxes at the end of the year, you realize exactly how big of really a kind of a loss you got out of everything because you are wasting so much money instead of just making your own pizza you can get at the store for a quarter of the price, or whatever it is that you were doing at the time. Come on, that guy got hit by what, 3 of my grenades and he didn't die? Okay, can I stop looking at my body twitching? Thank you. So yeah, you could definitely make improvements in your life. For me, when I was losing weight, for example, I would set goals where I would say, I want to wake up below this number and go to sleep below this number. And I would weigh myself every day, multiple times a day. I still, come the fuck on. I still do it. And, it is something that's been really helpful with me keeping myself on track. Just trying to figure out where I stand, how to keep going, improvements to make, keeping track of my calories. Just, it obviously can be a lot of work, but at the end of the day is what's more important to you? Not working hard and not trying to improve as a person because it's easier that way, or, being the best version of yourself you can be, I guess. For me, it was kind of a no-brainer. Plus, I've had other family members in my life have serious health issues because, either they were overweight or because, they just heart problems run in my family, for example, things like that. So would I just rather just keep eating and eating and eating and just, being depressed and just in a terrible place in my life? Or would I rather lose that weight and be healthier and have a much better life? That's just kind of how it is. And I understand for a lot of people, losing weight is not easy. It definitely wasn't for me. I'm still losing weight. I'm still trying to get in the best shape I could be in. It's taken me a long time, and you could plateau. You could hit things that are going to be really demotivating because of the fact that that's kind of the situation you find yourself in. But nonetheless, there's still ways to do it. Whatever method you have to take is, as long as you accomplish those goals and you stay within your moral confines, then there you go. As long as you stay true to yourself, believe in the heart of the cards. I mean, the heart of the cards, Yugi. Your grandfather's dick, Yugi. Told you believe in the fucking heart of the cards, mate. What are you doing? I'm surprised I killed that guy. If there's any other questions you guys want to ask me, go for it. The guy was very gentle with me. He definitely wouldn't get a DUI. I like how they spawn me on like the other side of the map, so I don't even have the ability to get over there and help with this. This guy at least got halfway across. Repulsor, that's repulsive. Also has a really long range, as you could tell. How long have I had my current job? I've been working there over 6 months now. I definitely enjoy it, for the most part. Obviously, every single job is going to come with pluses and minuses. I mean, that's basically every situation in life. You know, it's like when you're creating your build in an RPG. You know, you're going to have different strengths and weaknesses, pluses, minuses, things of that nature. So yeah, 6 months, and it's going pretty well so far. I'm doing really well in the job, one of the best when it comes to overall performance in the entire company, and it's a startup. So as a result, you know, there's a lot of room for growth and improvement, and you know, it's probably going to keep going up from here. Did I get stuck in a wall? Huh. But one of the things I'll say about YouTube is sometimes you also are really helped when you do things like this in terms of acquiring skills. So, you know, if I didn't do YouTube, I probably wouldn't have necessarily been able to get the job that I got, because the fact that I had a skill set, a particular set of skills, to quote Liam Neeson, which itself, very few people, if anyone applying for the job ever would even come close to having, because the fact that you know, how many people with a channel my size are necessarily going to come along and apply to a job, right? So that's just how it is, and you know, it's nice. I work in the real estate. Well, I work in the social media tech industry. I guess we would say we're a tech startup. Because the thing is, like, primarily we're working with real estate agents right now. But the thing is that this particular job, this particular company can definitely apply to other industries. And that's something that I'm helping the company right now to work on in terms of potentially expanding into other ventures and horizons in that regard. Because realistically, we could definitely do this with like almost every industry out there. Real estate is how it started, but we could definitely do, you know, lawyers, law firms, people in the medical professional fields, perhaps, entertainment, political candidates, all those things of that nature. And we could definitely apply to those. And that's not just the one. Like, the thing is, I've always had more than one job, let's be honest. Like, when I'm doing YouTube, I'm also doing this. But I've also been someone who also has, you know, worked on other ventures like writing my book series, which I've been doing for the past 12 years. And also, I worked in the film industry in the past as an independent filmmaker. So, really, I've done a lot of things, and I still continue to do a number of things outside of YouTube and even outside the current job or career I am working in. You know? And there's other careers, I guess you could refer them as in a personal way, that, you know, it would be nice if I happen to have one day, like, you know, the full-time job of raising a family, which I definitely I know that most people in my generation, they don't want those traditional things anymore, but I'm somebody who does, and I definitely would like to have that someday, uh, regardless of the current likelihood of such a thing happening for me. What the hell is happening here? Yeah, I do have, I guess you could say, a diverse skill set. Come on, that guy was on top of 2 grenades and he didn't die. Must be that samurai armor. It was right on top of the overshield, didn't even get him. Very smart. What the hell? Thing is, I'm someone who always wants to do a lot of different things at the same time, right? So, like, I'm not someone who has ever wanted to do only one thing for their entire life. I've always wanted to do a lot of different things because I'm passionate about a lot of different things in life. I'm passionate about filmmaking, about storytelling, about, you know, music, about a lot of different things that I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to start my own band. I've always wanted to maybe make a video game. I've always wanted to do so many different things. And, you only have so much life, so much energy, so many things that you're really able to do. So, as much as I want to do some of these things, there's also the realism of not necessarily being able to because the fact that they're so time intensive, they require a lot of money, or, you just please stop showing me that guy's crotch. Uh, you just only have so much energy, so much time to devote. So sometimes you have to focus on one passion at a time or one priority at a time and hopefully do well in the process. And the thing is, sometimes you'll go and you'll try a passion and you won't do well at it, but at least you could say you tried it. Even if you fail, you went out there and you tried to do something. You tried to make it work. And if it's something you really care about, you really love, and you're really passionate about, it sucks if you don't have talent at it. But at the same time, it's just how it is, right? What's up with this lag? I'm really fucking annoyed at my team right now. You guys see me capturing something and then you don't even try and help. Thanks. Fucking idiots. This is one of the things I don't like playing just with random people because they're never actually trying to do the the objectives and work as a team. Instead, they're way more interested in just playing Rambo and running around and doing crazy shit instead of like working toward the objective. Hey, E-Meister, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. I'm glad that you're here watching, and everyone else who watches, I really appreciate it. Can you guys stop him from capturing that zone? Like, I'm the only one doing the thing that you're supposed to do. Am I the only one who cares about the rules? Can anyone tell me what movie that's from? I'll give you a hint. It's directed by the Coen brothers. Yep, I knew it. You thought you could hide from me, bitch? He thought he was slick. Bitch, you ain't slick. You better make that keyboard work and stop playing with me. There's another quote you guys can tell me what it's from. One of my favorite cartoons of all time. A very adult-themed one. Victory. Well, I did great in that game, didn't I, guys? No, not Fargo. It was made a couple movies after Fargo, maybe 3 or something. Probably my favorite Coen Brothers movie. Followed by No Country for Old Men. That one's great. Another hint, it was a line delivered by John Goodman in my favorite role of John Goodman's, which is saying a lot because he's good at what he does, man. There you go, Kyle. You were right. Boondocks. An awesome show. One of my favorites. That's an American cartoon that really took the anime influence and did really well with it, while still making amazing comedy and satire. It's a lot like King of the Hill in many perspectives, in terms of the satire, the comedy, the way it delivers it, the cleverness. At least up until season, was it 3 or 4, when Aaron McGruder, I think his name is, stopped working on the show, and then it basically became Gargoyles with the Goliath Chronicles, which I love Gargoyles too. Another thing with Keith David, much like Halo, and Gargoyles is one of my favorite cartoons growing up, and I would love to see a live action version of it. I know Jordan Peele has said he might do that, but overall I don't really care for Jordan Peele's movies at this point. Like, I liked Get Out. I thought Us wasn't all that great. It was okay, maybe. And then Nope, I just didn't like it all. I thought it was terrible, except for like a few scenes here and there. Maybe not terrible, but I didn't think it was very good at all. And there were some concepts about it that were interesting. There were a couple scenes here and there that were pretty disturbing, but for the most part, I just thought it was ridiculous and terribly executed. Especially in terms of like the rules and stuff behind the creature. Like the creature itself, like the third act is so just terrible and laughably bad, in large part because of the execution of his rules and everything that happened. It just wasn't well done at all. And I'm not even gonna get into it, but it's just not good. Like, I'm not gonna spoil it if somebody wants to watch it, but I really don't think it's worth anyone's time. And that's the thing, I don't want him to make Gargoyles or something, because he's probably just going to turn it into ham-fisted political commentary that isn't really well thought out. Much like, Nope and all these other movies he's made. Am I excited for the new Bleach arc? Maybe a little bit. I did just watch the new trailer earlier today, and I'm going to watch the series. I've said it before. I used to be a huge fan of Bleach. It was one of my favorite anime when it was running and the manga was coming out. But as it went on, I just stopped liking it because of a lot of the execution that Kubo, did with his stories, the anticlimaxes, the ridiculous power-ups and everything that they constantly hand to Ichigo, to where he's literally everything all at once and he's the strongest evers. Except for, it doesn't matter, because ultimately his power has zero influence on, like, let's say the ending of Waco Mundo, and basically it just basically involves stall, Ichigo, stall for a time, because everything's already been taken care of by other characters. Which, when basically your main character's entire existence revolves around stalling and not actually making a substantive impact, then why am I watching your story? But yeah, I just It was also incredibly dragged out. That's why I compared what is it? The Moro arc's ending to Waco Mundo, because I remember reading and watching Waco Mundo every single week when it came out, and just how incredibly dragged out it was because the fact that like, oh, hey, we're finally going to do X, Y, and Z. But by the way, here's these new characters that just showed up. Now we're going to have to fight the vice captains and the captains and the Arankar and the Ajutas and the Espada and then the other Espada who's actually the real number one. But then we just like, don't even see that fight at all, and it's just massively anticlimactic, and the power scaling makes no sense because how the hell does Ichigo and his Shikai beat somebody that then beats a character who's supposedly more powerful than Ichigo and his Bankai at this point, who is way more powerful than he was in the previous arc. I can go on for hours about that. But again, I haven't read or watched the series in like a decade, so who knows? Maybe I'll like it if I go back and rewatch it and not be as bothered by some of those things. I might rewatch it before the new arc, but I'm definitely going to watch the new arc. I'm probably not going to read the manga, and we'll have to see. But I will rewatch him and skip all the filler because I don't want to watch any filler. Who's got time for that? There's so many shows out now that there's no point in reading or watching filler. Really? You're like right there, cat ears, and you couldn't have stopped this dude? Now he's 69ing me? Like, give me a break. Come from behind. Does this fucking idiot have to jump in the way of my headshot? Very intelligent maneuvering. I have a guy lined up in my sights, headshot ready to go. It's all revved up and ready to go. Blitzkrieg bop. And, hey, it was an Uchiha who killed me. I don't know who Tachi is. Is that Sasuke's child? Is that spoilers for Boruto? Oh, maybe it was Itachi. I like how that guy was teabagging and I just stabbed him in the face with that skewer. I'll stab you in the face with a soldering iron. It's another movie I really liked growing up. I heard everyone thinks it's terrible, so who knows. The Tale of Dirty Joe. Yeah, the anime I'm most excited to come back is Hunter x Hunter. I want that Kurapika show. Give me that show. I mean, Kurapika, or Kurapika, is my favorite character in Hunter x Hunter anyway. So the fact that he's going to be the main character of the show sounds pretty awesome to me. Oh yeah, spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen Hunter x Hunter. Obviously, Kurapika doesn't die, or else the show wouldn't be about him. Yeah, I have only seen like the first episode or two of Shippuden so far. I've seen all of the original Naruto except for the filler, which is basically half the show, which is not good. Same thing with Bleach. Like, when you have that much filler in your show, then you just stop the damn show and just like let the manga like go a little bit further and just do seasons, because you're just wasting everyone's time and you're wasting your budget and all this stuff that you could be putting into the rest of the show to actually make it like not only look amazing. And Bleach already had pretty good animation, an amazing soundtrack. It was directed by the same guy who directed Yu Yu Hakusho, so there you go. Obviously, it's going to be great. It was heavily inspired by Yu Yu Hakusho, Hunter x Hunter, Naruto. So, like, it's definitely in the right place in those regards. It had cool concepts, cool imagery, interesting storylines, character dynamics, some character development, but it just got worse as it went along in many regards. The plot armor around certain characters where none of the good guys would die no matter what, and even when they're literally chopped in half, like that one hollified girl who used to be, I don't know, vice captain or whatever, the blonde girl with the pigtails, she literally gets chopped in half by Geen, and then it's like, oh, don't worry, we'll heal her, it'll be fine. And then meanwhile, one character gets stabbed one time through a slight opening by a much weaker character, and they die immediately. And that character was actually cool. And one of my favorite characters in terms of like an antagonist. He had a really cool design. The whole blind swordsman thing was cool. And let's have him turn into a bug and stab him once, and that's the end of his storyline. Let's have power scaling that makes absolutely no sense at all. Oh, there was an opening and he used a sword. That's it. That's all that matters. Oh yeah, because I'm sure that somebody with like a pocket knife could kill Yamamoto or Aizen if he wasn't paying attention, right? I don't know. Maybe that's what happens in the Thousand Year Blood War. I honestly don't know. I know next to nothing about it other than there's Quincy's versus Espada, or not Espada, the Shinigami, which I'm not going to call Soul Reapers because that's one of the things about the dub I didn't really care for, that type of translation. Like, why not call them Death Gods or Grim Reapers? Soul Reapers. That's just lame sounding. Like, honestly, but there's a lot of problems with that dub. There's a lot of toned down elements I was thinking about the other day too. Like I remember specifically there was the scene where Yoruichi first shows her true form to Ichigo, and like there is certain lines of dialogue she says that are drastically toned down in the dub. Like for example, when she like lifts up her skirt to show him, they totally change what she says in the dub just to like tone down the fact that she's showing Ichigo her vagina. Like, there's a lot of things that are toned down that I'm not quite sure why. Maybe it was for broadcast purposes, but regardless of what the motivation is, it still takes away the meaning from the show and just, you know, is really dumb. Plus, the direction was just really poor in the dub, because when you have a lot of really talented voice actors and all of them just sound flat as possible every single time they say anything, that's a problem. This is coming from someone who actually started with the dub of Bleach. I started watching it on Adult Swim or Toonami or whatever it was on, and I liked it so much I decided to watch it in the Japanese, and then when I did that, what ended up happening was that I realized that the Japanese is so much better, it's not even funny, and the English dub was really poorly directed and too many changes and all these things I've mentioned before. That might be a Viz thing too, because I've seen a little bit of the Hunter x Hunter dub, and obviously there's always going to be that initial thing where you're used to the voices that you started with, so you're always going to automatically dislike the voices to a degree. But in terms of the Hunter x Hunter dub, it kind of felt the same way, where it seemed... I mean, there's also the fact that voice actors in the United States aren't as well trained for the most part as Japanese voice actors. They don't go to these fancy academies. They don't really put as much emphasis on certain things, and not to mention that there's a lot that's lost even when you're reading the subtitled version of reading the subtitled version, even when you're watching the subtitled version of an anime. Like, there's a lot of things that are lost on it, like in terms of either jokes or in terms of like certain cultural things, certain wordplay, certain exchanges that you're not really going to understand watching as someone who speaks English as your first language, or really any other language, or at least isn't fluent in Japanese. Like a lot of jokes they make about how this word sounds exactly like this. Bleach actually did a lot of those where one of the jokes was that Ichigo, he was like, oh, my name means number one this or whatever. I forget exactly. But then a lot of people thought his name was Strawberry because, I think that Ichigo means strawberry or something. Like there's a part of Ichigo that means strawberry, and he also has that kind of hair. So a lot of people always are like, "Oh, hey, strawberry" and stuff to him, and he's like, "No, it doesn't mean that. It means number one this or something like that." Because Ichi in Japanese means the number one. And then there's a lot of things like when you actually listen to Japanese enough and you start to pick up on what they're saying, there's a lot of things in the subtitles that are just like not correctly translated just to make it easier for people to understand or for it to not sound so, I don't know, weird. Like for example, a lot of times in the Japanese, characters will say like refer themselves in first person, but then the subtitles will say I or me or they'll like simplify things. So like you'll hear a character clearly say a certain word, in sometimes even in English, like like a lot of times the Japanese, for example, instead of saying I'm in a difficult situation, they'll say, "Oh, I'm in a real pinch," but then it'll say in subtitles in a difficult situation. It's like they literally said I'm in a pinch, or like it's like this guy is going to give you a gift, and you literally hear them say presento in Japanese because they don't even have, either they don't have a correct Japanese equivalent or because of X, Y, and Z. But either way, there's a lot of things you pick up on the more you learn about the language, that they're just not correctly translating for a variety of different reasons. Some people say localization, but I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that you could say localization or creative license, that these arguments have been made. Come on, I hit that guy in the gut. That's like a total Houdini killer. I'll make your magic disappear. That's how Goku beat Frieza. He punched him so many times in the gut. And then Frieza did a lot of sit-ups and became Golden Frieza. That was his real training, just making his gut stronger and changing his color. And then Frieza watched a lot of the current American content for his new form. That's a deep cut right there. He's totally into color swaps, much like the casting directors of many different shows and series these days. He pulled a Disney with his new form, which is ironic. I mean, anime, especially Toriyama, has taken a lot of influence from Disney over the years, so it only makes sense that he would take it for Frieza's new form. You get it? I have to ask sometimes. Figured out about a millisecond too late that I was out of ammo in that shotgun. See, this team's a lot better. Like, I always get better matchmaking when I don't play with Josh. Double kill. See, I'd never get a double kill playing with Josh. Maybe once. I might have done a killing streak, or what is it? The one where you get 10 playing with Josh one time. I don't know, maybe I'm just so in awe of how amazing he is at this game. Then again, that's what happens when you're playing Halo in the womb. I was like 47 when Halo came out. I know I look it, right? I still remember when I was in middle school and they were talking about how Microsoft was going to come out with a console. It's like, everyone was like, Microsoft? They're going to come out with a console? How are they going to beat the Nintendo and PlayStation? That doesn't make any sense. Little did they know that they were right. After all, I'm not playing on Xbox right now. Like, have I ever shown you guys my mouse and keyboard? I don't know. Here's a sneak peek right now. The Laughingstock Media setup. This cool glow-in-the-dark light-up keyboard and this wireless mouse with all of these fancy buttons. King of the Hill. Damn it, Bobby. Dang it, Bobby. I'll tell you what. Sure, my camera angle is all messed up now, so I apologize to all the people with OCD in my audience. Yeah, I really don't like that camera angle, actually. There we go. Maybe. That's one of the things, like, I have a delay on here because the latency set up, and I don't have my preview enabled either, so... I did stick a guy, though. Did like 1,000,000% the damage to him, but assist is kind of, fine, I guess. We scored. If only Josh was here to do his amazing impressions. Like, what was it? He's really great at doing a Hank Hill one, and we're playing King of the Hill too. That would have been so cool if I just meleeed him to death before he hit me with that hammer. Martian technology? I'm not quite sure what we're referring to here. Is that like a Dale Gribble quote? Pocket sand! Sha-sha-sha! It's the government. You know, Dale was pretty based in some regards sometimes, I will admit there. He did sometimes know what he was talking about. Even if he occasionally forgot to mention certain groups. We did it, buddy. We did it. I think Josh says that according to the Halo canon, because that's what I totally think about when I'm playing a video game canon, apparently everything in this in-universe is actually in a simulator, so it does make a degree of sense that, you know, you can even look at your dead body and stuff. And, you know, follow along with everything. Right up top, too. Why are these guys running in one at a time? Was this a shitty martial arts movie? I'll fight him one at a time, even though there's 40 of us and there's one of him. Because of my honor. You sound like Prince Zuko. Honor! Really gonna let them win this? Come on, Majin99. Majin99? Is that a Dragon Ball reference? I know it doesn't sound like it, but I do know a little bit about the Dragon Balls. I'm sure he has no idea who I am. That's the thing. I don't think I've ever met a single person in public or in, what is it, in video games or anything who's ever once recognized me or my voice. You'd think that when I have tens of millions of views on my channel and stuff, somebody would recognize me, but nah. Not gonna happen. Stop running in one at a time. This isn't a shitty martial arts movie. Well, obviously I won because I did it, because, I have Harold's training. But they still should have taken my advice, right? I got one more game left in me, guys. I don't want to play a stupid yappening shit. Guess I could just play almost entirely with my sidekick pistol this time. I do want to watch some Game of Thrones. Even though it's not called Game of Thrones, it's called House of the Dragon. Really, the whole franchise, the whole series shouldn't have been called Game of Thrones. It should have just been called a Song of Ice and Fire. I don't know why HBO just decided to call it Game of Thrones, but I guess because that's kind of the theme. And the greater narrative is the Game of Thrones, but I guess maybe House of the Dragon doesn't roll off the tongue as easily for... Oh wait, not House of the Dragon, a Song of Ice and Fire doesn't roll off the tongue as easily for some people. Even the House of the Dragon, that's not like the name of the book, so I don't know why they call it House of the Dragon. I mean, obviously, it's supposed to be about the House of the Targaryens and everything, but, it still isn't called House of the Dragon in the book, so whatever. There's a lot of changes they made from the books anyway. Just going back and reading them, just immediately you notice that there's big differences. Like the first prologue of book 1 of Game of Thrones is about totally different characters that aren't even in the show, and then there's also, what is it, the White Walkers are totally different in their depiction. And okay, I was invisible. There's no fucking way he should have killed me. But whatever. See you later, SRM. And no, I haven't played any of the Souls games. Those are games I'd like to play. I mean, you guys gotta understand that when I was doing YouTube full-time, I just devoted my entire life to doing YouTube. So, I didn't play video games for the most part, other than, mobile games like Hearthstone and Duel Links and Magic the Gathering Arena and stuff like that. There's a lot of things I never had the time to do because all my mental energy and focus was dedicated to the task at hand. I didn't write my book for... I mean, I was working on the book, but I wasn't really writing it actively like the way I am right now for a long period of time. There's so much stuff that I had to do at the time. And, so I missed out on a lot of games, a lot of franchises, a lot of things I want to go back and play now. Plus, growing up, I didn't really have money. I didn't really have the ability to do a lot of these things that, people always tell me about. Mike, did you play these games? It's did you have an Xbox and a PlayStation and this and that. It's like, no, I was lucky I got one system. Most of the time it was Nintendo, you know. I didn't get to really be a PC gamer until I just built my own PC and I just got to work. So, you know, that's the thing. Uh, I built this PC to make YouTube videos on. Like, it was a whole business expense, but it also gave me the ability with the exact same technology and hardware to play games on. So I finally got the chance to play Halo and a lot of these other games I never got the chance to do because I simply didn't have the financial means to play them. You know, or the time, the effort, the initiative. And there's still a lot of games on my list I really want to play, and that who knows when I'll get the chance to. We only have so much time in our lives, and you know, like, there's a lot of things I want to do with my life that, you know, I gotta kind of pick and choose sometimes. Where the hell is the guy that was on back of my Warthog? Forgot I was doing this quest. Oh, come on, I hit the button. I should have been able to take that over. That's something that most people don't understand when you do YouTube, that it just consumes your life. Like, I remember hanging out, like, with Geekdom and some other people and just going and just seeing them in real life, and just, like, how YouTube just utterly consumes your life. You know, that's just how it was for me and for other people. It becomes the thing that you live for, and that's another reason why you shouldn't do YouTube for a living, and you shouldn't do it as your main source of income or anything like that, because really, at the end of the day, do you want to live for, you know, do you want to live for your life? Do you want to live for, you know, your family, for other things? Or do you want to live for an algorithm that's not going to really ever give a shit about you or promote you anyway? I think it's kind of an obvious question there. Like, do you want to be like Ric Flair, who bought golf clubs and then 15 years later they're still brand new, sitting in his office or whatever, going unused? Can you guys, like, you know, stick together as a team? I guess not. I don't know. I wish that I had my entire subscriber base, like, watching and listening to me say these things, but of course that's not going to happen. You know, I should have slapped Dragon Ball Super Halo in the title instead of just Halo. Just so that, you know, somebody would be like, Dragon Ball Super, now I must watch and listen to Mike. But no, I appreciate everyone who watches, because views don't really matter to me anymore at the end of the day. It's more about just frustration with the fact that, you know, it seems like most of the time whenever I'd want to say something different or, you know, almost poignant, that's when people don't tune in. And then when I make a video about, you know, how strong was X character in Y arc, you know, here's 100,000 people showing up because that is apparently more interesting and more algorithm friendly. Even though I genuinely don't care how strong characters are in Dragon Ball at this point, because it's completely irrelevant, because how strong a character is has nothing to do with the actual quality of the story. And if they had literally depowered all the characters and told a 10 out of 10 story, I would not complain. I would just, well, I would say that it doesn't work in universe unless they gave a good in-universe explanation. Then I'd be like, fuck it, I don't care. Maybe they could blow up an island now, like in One Piece, you know. At least the story's good. But that doesn't get views when you say that. Instead, you kind of have to, I don't know, kowtow to an algorithm, or, you know, you just do what I'm doing. Just do whatever you want for fun. I wonder if I'll get an achievement for doing this. Maybe it's like Star Fox. You'll unlock a special weapon by going through all of these. You can tell there's like little invisible walls and stuff too. I could probably just win like this, actually, now that I think about it. Don't worry, guys. I'm just going to win like this. I had to give them a chance. I like how it gets self-destruction, even though I didn't even do anything that should have killed me. We're still playing this? Can we just, like, not play this anymore? It's one of the most just shitty modes in this game. Like, what the hell is this? Battle Royal? Just, like, the worst version of a Battle Royal. Thanks for the ammo, dude. Oh, cool custom gun, too. Only I could pick it up. Come on, that should have fucking killed him. Like, when you're, like, on top of a grenade and it blows up and it does no damage to you, maybe you should fix your game, 343. Just a thought from a very long-time Halo fan. I mean, I've been playing for, like, 6 months, so I'm totally, like, qualified to give an in-depth explanation of things that could be improved. Let's see if I can grapple on this and steal it from there. That'd be cool. I've done it before. Can you get over here so I could steal that? Oh. I guess nobody can steal it now. Alright, just make sure you're getting some of your questions now, guys, before this game's up, because I will be wrapping it up after this match. So if there's anything you've ever wanted to ask me for some reason, well, feel free. The world could explode tomorrow, so, you know, maybe it's a good idea to ask me those questions now. Great team I'm playing on. Totally even, as you could see. I have a very high score, too, if we're playing golf. Or tennis. Get him, Donatello! Maybe he's Raphael. It'd be nice if I could, like, turn the camera around. I guess he's not gonna try and rescue his teammates and possibly win the game. Great job! You totally took those bullets like a champ. Well, that should about wrap it up. Let's see what I got first, and then I will bid you all adieu. This was Laughingstock Nation, although the fact is that more of it was about Mike today, I suppose, but that's okay. We're just having an experimental kind of show and channel right now as it is. But let's switch it over to the main camera real quick. Okay, it's not going to
Hey yo,
I love OBS. It's such a well-crafted, it's fine. It's because I'm not doing it correctly. Don't worry. I mean, that's something I often do. So, I'll show you all my horrible, my beautiful, handsome, chiseled jaw in a moment as I figure out how to do what I am not doing. And what I am doing is this. Let me fix this camera angle too, so you can actually see me front and center. Okay, guys, so thank you all for coming out today and watching the newest edition of Laughingstock Cinema. Oh, this is actually a really interesting question from Gartrace. You always have some good questions here. Didn't even know you were watching. So yeah, you asked me a very interesting question that relates into what I was saying. Was my desktop audio muted that whole time? Ugh, I hope not. But yeah, so you said that you're trying to quit your job to do YouTube full time. I mean, you can use YouTube to quit your job. I mean, YouTube can serve as a passive income. That's definitely the case, but take it from somebody who had 130,000 subscribers and made videos constantly full time for a living. You don't earn that much unless you're like getting hundreds of thousands of views on everything, and YouTube gives you a good CPM and RPM, which they definitely didn't for me. That's the thing, like, you know, I can talk to some of my other friends who've done YouTube and they made way more money than I did with the same amount of views, or even less sometimes, because of the fact that YouTube gave them better CPM than they did with me. You know, they there are certain channels out there, I'm sure you could figure out, that were making tons of money off this platform doing the exact same things as me, but you know, because of the fact that they were promoted more, they did this, they did that. Ultimately, you know, that's what led to that, but that's not the case for the vast majority of people. So you can even have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, getting millions of views, and you still struggle to pay your bills, and you do literally everything in your power to shift over your money from account, to pay for food, to pay for everything just to get by, and you don't even have that big of expenditures. My current job, I make way more money than I ever made at YouTube, and I also make it consistently because the fact that, you know, it's actually a job with a real salary. It's just that I do something different because I wasn't happy doing YouTube. I wanted to do something else in my life and actually be, if not happy, a little bit in a better place. And actually make a consistent revenue that I could apply toward my other goals in life, like, you know, purchasing my own home and, you know, building up revenue for other ventures and other things I want to do along the way. So when it comes down to that, YouTube is not for that. You know, you could do really well and make millions of dollars on this platform, but more chances are you'll never draw an actual profit. And even if you do, even if you're making millions of dollars on here, when you actually look at the amount of time and effort you put into YouTube, you're not making anywhere near as much as you should. You know, when you put 80 hours a week into YouTube and you're not even earning the paycheck that you would working at McDonald's, then what is the point of doing YouTube when you're doing it for a career, right? It's pointless. There is no good reason to do it unless it's something that you're doing on the side as like a second job, or, you know, just to make some supplemental income or something like that. There's no real reason to do it for a living in and of itself, unless you follow a million best practices recommended by people like Roberto Blake and you're constantly keeping up on it and you're just working 80 plus hours a week all the time, constantly making all these videos, and then making videos that are inherently going to have a higher CPM than content like mine, or, you know, a lot of other channels I follow where really they should be millionaires, but they're not, because either the algorithm or because of the fact that that they just are not given very good ad rates, and then YouTube takes a cut on top of all that. So don't do this for a living. Don't do it as your main job. And honestly, YouTube doesn't deserve your time and effort like that anyway. They don't deserve for you to give them your life, for you to destroy your body and your mind and everything else for them in order to give your money and your effort and everything else to an uncaring corporation run by ideologues who don't care about anything other than furthering their own goals and agendas and making as much money and attaining as much power for themselves, just like all the politicians, just like all these actors and all these people who are put in these public spectacles and who in themselves are marionettes with all the strings being pulled on them anyway. So yeah, just I would say invest. I would say do YouTube, do all the different things you can do if you want to make extra money. But you're more likely to make money sometimes on the stock market than you are doing YouTube. You're more likely to earn revenue by purchasing physical commodities like gold and silver and things like that that are a hedge against inflation as the dollar and everything continues to be devalued by the people who run the world, and destroyed until eventually we're burning dollars in our fireplaces just to not freeze to death, like they did in the USSR. And everything's shifting to digital too. So basically your value of your currency is going to become however many zeros they put in your bank account at any given point. I mean, it's already basically like that anyway. Read some books on economics. Read the works of Ludwig von Mises, Murray Rothbard, Friedrich von Hayek, Adam Smith, all these other great economists out there. I wouldn't recommend any of the Keynesian stuff because that's basically just what gave the government carte blanche to do all the things that they do nowadays, and that's why it's typically pushed in the media and in schools and all the other things that they have their control over, because the fact that they want to make it easier to control everyone. And when you don't have real financial independence, you spend all your money, you put yourself in a debt, then they control you. You're a serf. And that's what The Road to Serfdom is in part about, written by Friedrich von Hayek, also about why a lot of these ideologies that have been seen as factual across the world are in themselves flawed and going to inherently be failing every single time because these types of top-down, fully controlled economies don't work. Meanwhile, you have YouTubers who've never read a book on economics in their life except for maybe, The Theory of Money and Credit, which I believe was the book written by Keynes. And then they say, oh, capitalism is bad. Meanwhile, please give me money on this platform, and please give me this, and please give me that. Yeah. So what I would say to do, Guard Trace and everyone else, is get another job that you're actually happy with, find a new career path, do something, just make changes to your life and set goals, work toward them, write them down if you have to, check them off, do mini goals along the way. If you hate your job, don't do it. Do something else. There's so many jobs out there. Unfortunately, they're not always easy to find, but do something, make your own job. Just sometimes you have to keep working that job you hate for a little bit until you can do something else, but I highly recommend that you do what makes you happy in life. And who knows, maybe what I'm doing right now isn't really what makes me happy. Maybe, I'll find out in the future that I'll have to do something different. Everyone's life is a journey that's still ongoing. I'm trying to basically live the best life I can and be the best person I can be, and for me, the thing that I'm really looking for right now in my life isn't a job. It isn't, money. It isn't things like that are inherently materialistic or are going to further my fruits of my labor for another person's benefit or gain. The things I want are more immaterial and, like a fulfilling, happy, loving life. That's what I really want in my life. And what, if that's something that you're looking for, hopefully you find that as well along the way. Who knows if I'll ever achieve that? Who knows if any of us will ever achieve our goals? But if we reach for them and try for them as hard as we can, maybe we will. Or maybe we'll, land somewhere a little bit closer to them than if we had never even tried to begin with. And we'll be able to be at least, I don't know, content or happy in that. So we'll have to see how that goes in that regard. But, I'm always I'm always trying to be honest with you guys, and obviously talking about YouTube the way I have is not beneficial for someone who inherently is doing this the way I am in doing this, I guess, who has done YouTube for a career in the past and everything. But at the same time, that if I say these things that are not inherently beneficial to myself for saying them, then chances are I'm probably telling the truth, because why lie about something that's not actually going to help me in the process, right? Why lie about anything at all? Because at the end of the day, the truth always comes out, and good always wins in the end. And those who believe in something tend to have a higher chance of succeeding, at least by their own standards, than those who don't, who are inherently going to have a hollow victory, if any at all. And thank you, Pharaoh Patricio, with congratulating me on my weight loss. Yeah, I mean, it's something I worked hard toward. I'm still not where I want to be, but this is a big part of the goal. I wanted to be under 200 pounds, and that was my initial goal. I hit that goal, and I'm still going. Sometimes your goals will change over time. Sometimes you'll want to do something different with your life, and sometimes you'll realize the things you avoided or things that you didn't do for a long period of time are the most important thing that you actually want to do with your life. When you are somebody like me, who was an introvert for a really long time, who didn't really like people that much, I wasn't a very big people person, let's just say. Nowadays, the thing that I really want more than anything is related to those social interactions and relationships and things of that nature, which matter more to me than any job or any kind of career or any amount of money at all. Those are things that'll make me happy. And I don't need to be a billionaire. I don't need to be, someone with tons of a following or power or anything like that to be happy and successful in my life, because we all live our life based upon our own metrics for success and our own attempts at achieving things, and the list goes on. So that really comes down to what goals you set for yourself, what standards you set, and trying to reach those. I set really high goals and really high standards for myself, and so a lot of time when people tell me, hey Mike, you did an amazing job, or hey Mike, you're doing great here, I feel like I could be doing better. And because I'm people always say I'm critical about these series, these shows, but way more critical about everything that I do. And maybe that's helped me to do what I've done in life. I don't quite know, but at the end of the day, it all comes down to what you want to do, how you want to live your life, and hopefully you can achieve what it really is that you want to do in your life at the end of the day. But with that being said, I appreciate all of you coming out and watching this next episode of Laughingstock Nation, which was more like Laughingstock Media plus Dragon Ball Nation today. It'll be interesting to see what we talk about in the future, how this continues to change. I even had an intro today. Speaking of...
Hey yo, what's up? You gotta stop and listen. It's time to open your eyes. It's coming to you.
Kula, kula, believe fellow brother. 기타를 메탈을 kula, 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 believe fellow brother. kyushu, fukusu, metal kula. 機械になって得たぜ復讐の機械無限に増殖絶望を感じたあのショック打ちた力捕まえた悟空とベジータ吸われた悟空とベジータ全力出した奴は非道かます瞬間移動奴は非常ボディは頑丈無限に再生絶望の戦場無限に増殖見せろ根性クーラークーラーブリーザのブラザードカンドカンドカンバトルにメタルクーラー来たるぶちかませ超快感ドラゴンボール Z ドッカンバトル全世界同時キャンペーン開催中
But yeah, I do really like these cooler raps, I gotta admit. But with that being said, guys, thanks for all of you coming out. Hopefully this has been entertaining for you, something for you to do. Maybe somebody even keep you company, which, trust me, I know after being isolated for years doing YouTube, and then, everyone else started to live in isolation through, that particular virus of unknown origin, as the Critical Drinker, one of my favorite channels, likes to put it, happened. So I know how lonely that could be and how much it can aggravate depression, things of that nature. So if any of my videos ever help you with that, or help you get through good time or hard times, really, like some people have said in the past to me, that really does mean a lot to me. And if that's something that I've helped you to do with my channel over the years, that's something that's really makes me feel better about everything that I've done on here. I'm sorry that my whole video is at Dutch angle right now. I know it's probably really distracting. This is what it should be. This is what it is. Expectations versus reality. But alright, guys. It was great talking to you. I hope you have a great day, great rest of your week, and stay tuned for more to come in the future.